All right. So, hey, everybody. Sorry for the technical delays. It is Monday, June 15th. And Matt and I are going to bring you something a little bit different, a little bit special tonight. What we're going to do is we decided that we are going to do the Dream Eaters as the next campaign of our sort of Arkham Horror thing. And because we're going to do the Dream Eaters, this is a very special expansion because it differs from other expansions where other expansions you have one team that you take through a bunch of scenarios, like 8 scenarios, like Carcosa we just did, one team, 8 scenarios. This one is actually divided up into 2 different teams. And I believe, Matt, when you explained it to me, because I didn't really read it, when you explained it to me, it was basically one team is set in reality, and the other team is set in the dream world, or wherever that other fantasy world is. And so I loved that idea, and it reminds me of like what's that old movie? It's like Flatliners with like a young Kevin Bacon.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think they remade it recently where you die temporarily. You talking about like that one?
Yeah,
Where you
yeah, yeah,
kill.
yeah. The
Yeah,
ones, yeah, the ones where like they kill their friends, they have crazy dreams, and they bring them back. They're like, "What did you
yeah.
see?" And the guy's like, "A bully. My childhood bully kept spitting in my mouth." That movie. Yeah.
Oh
So
yeah.
I don't know. That's like one of the first things I thought of, and I was like, "Okay, I'm down with that." The whole idea that like your friends are going to go to sleep and do battle in the dream world, and there's nothing you can do to help them except for like protect their physical bodies. I kind of dig that whole thing, and like the fact that like things are going to happen to you in reality while you're like protecting your friends. Like that whole thing. I'm not sure how that's really going to pan out in the scenario, but this is like me like wishful thinking about like what's possibly going to happen on this campaign. So in preparation for this really awesome campaign, Matt and I will be doing some deck building with our teams. We're picking our teams, and we're doing some deck building. So I've definitely chosen my 2 that I'm playing, and I sort of did a skeleton sort of deck. But I haven't shown anything to Matt before, so I'm gonna show it to you guys and Matt for the first time here. This is my first time building from scratch some decks, so I may or may not have gotten things right or wrong. Matt will let us know, and you guys in chat can you know, let me know if you see a taboo card that I'm using and all that kind of stuff. So that I'm looking forward to getting the feedback from Matt and you guys, and then Matt's gonna show off his characters, kind of based on what I'm doing and based on like what he's feeling, and we're just gonna sort of talk through our strategies and why we like the characters we're doing and why we're picking the cards we did. So your classic sort of deck building session. We didn't do it the first time around because I was so new that I didn't have the experience enough to do to build my own deck. So Matt was good enough to make me the Kachi deck in the beginning, which I thought was amazing because I thought the deck was built so nicely that it gave me a really really good upgrade path without having to think too hard about it. So that's what I thought was really cool about this. It's an interesting way now to build decks, trying to figure out what your upgrade path is too. So that's a new thing for me as well. But so before we jump into the screen and we really start reading lots and lots of cards tonight, I'm going to do my usual. I'm going to ask Matt how he was in this past week and if he's been playing anything.
Sure. Playing things
Yeah.
a little bit limited as far as like anything new. Like I tried out the Edge Dawnfall. We found like a mod for that. This Kickstarter I was eyeing a long time ago.
Yeah.
Had like one game of that. Otherwise, I've been playing some Valorant with some friends because they're into it. I'm not great at shooters, but still been messing around with that. It's like the new Riot
Mm.
Counter Strike
Yeah,
hybrid.
that's like the newest hotness, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. As far as like getting tabletop game stuff, not as much. I've been kicking around an idea with some friends of like actually maybe getting to meet up in person between some of us who are mostly social distanced to go and try some limited face-to-face interaction. So
Yeah.
maybe opening that door. But man, it's been, I don't know, this week last week has been pretty tough, man. Pretty intense, just taxing, draining, a lot of stuff as far as like work goes. And so I'm looking forward to being able to do something that's like still uses my mind, maybe like a fun puzzle solving way. Because
Yeah, no, dude. I certainly hope that happens for you, man, because you're not wrong, dude. The last like 2-3 weeks have been very draining. I want to say emotionally and mentally. So much stuff is going on, and I'm drained just by myself in my own thoughts. And also having conversations with my friends and my family. As a profession, I don't also take the load off other people like you do. So I can imagine that it's just been a lot.
yep.
So hopefully you guys can get together and do that. It's I was talking to my local group here, and we are still not ready for the whole get together around a small table thing. We want to be, though. You know what I mean? Like, it's like we're really craving it, but we're just like trying to figure out, like, well, what game are we gonna play? It's like we don't want to be touching similar pieces all the time, and it's sort of just like trying to figure that whole thing out. But what's nice in the last week that's been a change for me is I've actually seen a lot more people this week. So I've been like, it's like we've been, going to friends' backyards and like sitting around a bonfire, like sitting 6 to 8 feet away from each other, kind of thing. We're bringing our own booze, we're bringing our own snacks. Like no one is like collectively sharing anything. We bring our own like lawn chairs, sit in someone's yard with my own beer, my own snacks, and then when it's time for me to go, I pack that up and I leave, and I don't touch anybody, and I don't get close to anybody. But it's been really nice to do that because, Zoom stuff and all and Skype stuff that we're doing here is one thing, but like I don't know, you need real human connection, real human interaction sometimes. So it's been nice to do that. So I'll be curious to see how it works out for you guys and what you guys end up playing. Because that'd be cool. That'd be cool as hell if you guys can get together and it's not it becomes fine. It's also one of those things. It's like you get together once, the 2 week clock starts. If 2 weeks are gone and all of you are still alive, it's just like, hey, then you can get together for that game group again.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. It seems like everything's cool then. Right. No, for sure.
Awesome. All right. Well, I haven't been playing a whole lot of stuff. I mean, Chris and I played Zombicide last week, and then there's, he's going crazy on the Monster Train hype. Still, I think everybody is. I haven't been playing it a lot. It's like I might play it on Thursday because I'm going to be doing a solo stream on Thursday. So I might bring Monster Train or I might bring Keyforge back because it's been a really, really long time. But Chris and I will be streaming on Wednesday morning or Wednesday afternoon these days. Keep on Twitter and Discord. We'll let you know what we're playing. But that will be the schedule here. And I think we're going to switch over to this screen where we're going to start talking about some deck building. All right. Okay, so where do we start? Okay, I'm going to bring up a bag here of something I prepared literally like a couple hours before stream. So boom. As you can see underneath my name right here, we are starting with the top names here. And there were a few different investigators I was looking at. I was taking sort of comments from YouTube after our Carcosa stream, and people were sort of recommending that we play maybe a blue character, maybe a red character, because we've also played a Seeker before. I played a Mystic, and then Matt also got to play a Rogue character at the end of the last campaign. So they were like, well, why don't you choose the other two colors? And I was like, you know what, that's a great idea. And while I was looking through the Guardians, and I'm going to swing over here to this section over here of this mod, which is not available anymore, but it's here, where you can look through all the different investigators. Here's Roland Banks over here as a blue one. Here is Zoe, the chef, which was somebody I was really considering. Ended up being like my second choice. Hold on, let's see. Mark Harrigan, that was another choice for me as well. The soldier, just like a fighty guy. But what I ended up going with was Leo Anderson over here. and he's the expedition leader. And so what I really was interested, like, or what like put me over the edge to pick this guy, was one, I dug his stats. His stats are great, 4, 3, 4, 1. Like the one sucks, right? When I get treachery cards or bad cards with that. But I just love this whole idea about like using allies, and then the whole lore about like he's this expedition leader, and every time he leads an expedition, like everyone dies, right? And then like he has to come back, get a new team. He leads them out, and like everyone dies. Like that's like his thing. And yeah, his little saying down there says, "Keep moving, you can die on your own time." I kind of like that, and so, yeah. So I'm into. So I got really into sort of the idea of like building a deck with a bunch of allies, like throwing them out for fodder, like replacing them, doing that whole stuff, and then sort of using his ability, which lets you play an ally with a reduced cost of 1 that doesn't count as an action. Those are the two big things right there. It doesn't count as an action, and it's reduced cost. And then his star effect it lets you search the top 3 cards of your deck for an ally and draw it, and then shuffle your deck. So he is who I'm going for. He has 8 health and 6 mental capacity. 4, 3, 4, 1. Brain, book, fist, and foot up there. And yeah, I'm excited. Now, have you ever played with this guy before?
Yeah, I played with him a few times, and I was actually playing through him myself with a campaign recently that we only made it like a little way through because of time complications. But yeah, I have played with him, and he's a really, really good boy.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to be getting the expert opinion, or somebody that's experienced with him, the opinion as I start to throw this deck around. So, let's see. I have his card and his thing up here. Okay. So again, Leo Anderson. I'm just gonna start throwing cards in here. I built this deck just before the stream, so it feels pretty good. I definitely spent more time on this deck than the other deck. But I will start to just throw cards down here and explain what's going on. So he has his personal card, or his unique card, is this guy Mitch Brown, Soul Survivor. So this guy is an ally, so it counts as an ally spot. But what's really cool about him is this is specific to just Leo's deck. When he is out, you have an additional 2 ally slots, which can only be used to hold non-unique allies. So non-unique allies are things like beat cops and venturers, and people don't have specific names. Like Matt was using Leo DeLuca in the last campaign, and he's a unique guy. So he's got 2/2 for soaking, and he also has 2 question marks if I want to pitch him, but I would never pitch him for that. And then his weakness right here is Bought in Blood. Revelation, you must either discard an ally asset you control from play, or discard each ally asset from your hand. And if neither of these happen, you shuffle this back on your deck. So can be terrible, can be okay. It doesn't seem too bad. I feel like the way I feel about this, the way I feel about Akachi's, like it was bad, but it's not too bad. You know what I mean? Like this ain't no overzealous. You know what I mean? I just feel like this is all right. Like, right. I might have damage on allies anyway and want to, like, pitch them, you know? So I feel like it might be all right. So going in for this, what up, Codab Games in chat? Rip this mod.
The one thing to keep in mind with that Bought in Blood, I think that you cannot choose either of the options if it doesn't impact the game state. So, like, let's say you have no allies in play, but a bunch in your hand. You can't be like, I'll discard the allies in play, or vice versa. It has to have some kind of impact. So that's the one thing about it to kind of like keep in mind if you're trying to play around it.
Got it. Okay. And I don't know if I said this, but when you discard an ally from your hand, it's each ally in your hand. So it's either discard 1 from play, or everything that's in your hand that's an ally. So that part is actually pretty savage. All right. So, of course, I started off when I was building stuff. Let me just hide that overlay there. There's a bunch of different allies to choose, and I ended up choosing 3 different ones I want to show you guys. I definitely gravitated toward the Beat Cop over here, because it gives me 1 into my punch, and plus it can soak 2 and 2. And then if he's almost dead, he has a fast action to discard the Beat Cop, and I can deal 1 damage to an enemy location. So I kind of dig that. The reason the Beat Cop's in here is also because the upgraded Beat Cop is much better. The upgraded Beat Cop, I believe, is a fast action, like exhaust him, deal damage to somebody, or deal damage to him, deal damage to somebody, something like that. And so it's like, and he's considered non-unique, so he really works with Mitch Brown over here and the ability. And then me and Matt were talking about what our teams were going to be. And so for this team here, we decided that we were going to play sort of more hybrid-y characters. And since I wasn't going to go straight fighter, I might have chosen to use a Venturer, which is, let me just place it over here. Where are these guys? Yeah, there's a Venturer over here, which lets you get more ammo. But since we're doing hybrid-y guys, I decided to go with Alice Luxley, which we've seen from Matt's Joey Diamond deck, and I actually really dug her when she was in there, and I was kind of sad to see Joey D go. So she is a unique ally, but I thought that her ability was good enough to put in. This is and hoping that I get charisma later, so I can play even more allies. So it's thinking future. You get +1 book, and so I think I'm going to need it if I want to get some clues. And it does that whole, if you discover a clue, you can exhaust her and deal damage to the enemy. So it's like a little 1-for-1 action here. And then the last one here, so last non-unique guy that I'm putting in here is this guard dog. And I kind of wasn't sure if I wanted to put the guard dog in here or the Venturer or Leo DeLuca in here. But I figured I should probably put another non-unique so I can take advantage of Mitch. And then this one's basically has 3 health for soak, and every time you deal damage to the dog, when an enemy deals damage to the dog, I can deal damage back to the enemy. So it's kind of one of those things like a riposte, just like soak and a riposte. So, and I figured with Mitch also counting as an ally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is probably the most I kind of want to go. That's like 20% of my deck right there. And so I don't want to like overload on allies and then have a bunch of allies in my hand that I'm not doing anything with or cycling through. I want to be able to get them out. Matt, what do you, so far, do you feel like when you've been playing him, like, is this like a good amount of allies? Is it a bad amount of allies? Like,
so this amount is probably a bit low, and the main reason is I don't know if you focus on his ability yet, but basically he gets a free action every turn to play an ally, and it could reduce the cost by 1. So the thing is, like you said, you do want to consider including in here some unique allies, because later you can go with charisma. Now, granted, you can always add more as you can add XP allies as time goes on. But one thing to think about would be kind of like what that threshold would look like. So with him, like guard dog is one of those cards that I don't necessarily play a lot of, but with him I do, because you do what's called like walk an enemy to death, which is like you can take like an enemy off of me while you have guard dog, and then just walk 3 spaces, and every time you move a space, it deals damage to the guard dog and takes one back.
I was thinking about that, like attack of opportunities. Like I just have the guard dog out, I like play an asset, like do a damage to him. Like, yeah, that's what I was thinking about with guard dog too.
So I think that like I'm trying to remember the whole pool of cards as far as like the non-unique allies, because there's not a ton of non-unique allies, whereas there's like a lot of really good unique ones.
And also, he can do guardian level, guardian all levels, rogue level cards 0 to 2, and then all the neutral ones too. Yeah, so that's why I was like, I could probably play like Leo DeLuca.
Yeah, the Leo DeLuca, and that's actually a great question because the reason that matters is to pair with you. This was your hybrid deck, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So to pair with you, I was trying to decide who I wanted to go with, and I'm thinking about well, both of the characters I was looking at have green as either their primary or secondary. So immediately I need to take into account, okay, this guy might be playing Leo DeLuca, so I can't. And the reason why is any unique allies are not only unique to you, but they're unique to your whole party, your whole team. So,
Oh, that's interesting. Right, because when you're playing physically, you only have a certain amount of cards as well. Right, when you're making all the decks. But is that also a thing in the games? That a game mechanic where, like, if I play Alice, nobody else can play Alice?
Right. Anytime you see a character, like, they'll have a little star next to their name. So, like, that's Safina's name.
Okay.
Or, for example, here with Dexter Drake, who I just got in the mail today, his special card is his assistant. And both my assistant and your special guy, if you notice, they have a little star next to them, their name. See that? That means unique, and anything that has that icon you can only have one of in play across the entire board. Whereas like Beat Cop doesn't have the little star next to his name. Alice does because she's named.
So the star right before the name. Got it.
You personally could have both your Beat Cops in play, and I could have one. But only one of us could have an Alice Luxley.
Got it. Okay.
So now I do think that Leo DeLuca is amazing with Leo Anderson, and I think you should play him, and there's a lot of great other green allies that I can play. So you should definitely consider him.
Okay. Yeah, he was definitely high on my list to add if I could. Let me go through the rest of the deck, and then we'll come back to the allies so that we can figure out, like, what you want to do with your deck, whether you want to grab Leo or not, and whatnot. So the weapons for fighting, I had a tough time choosing. I ended up going with this, and you might think I'm really weird by this, Matt. So you can let me know if this makes absolutely no sense. I think I'm being a little funny about what's happening here. But I chose two super expensive double-handed guns. So I have 45.45 Thompsons, right? And I'm picking these guys because they have 5 ammo, and I get +2 to the fight, plus deal 1 damage. So they're big, beefy boys of guns. They're just really expensive to play. The other thing I like about them is when you upgrade them, they shoot money into my pocket.
Yeah.
I think.
And I think you can actually upgrade into either version of them. I think too, if you want.
No, I can't upgrade into the Rogue version because it's past level 2.
Okay, I
think it's level 3. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I can only get the Guardian version, but the Guardian version, I believe, like you can make your ammo into money, which is kind of cool. And since I'm using both my hands with this big beefy boy, and sometimes you don't want to spend ammo and the +1 damage on like crappy little acolytes or other things that can pop. I'm using an Enchanted Blade is what I put in my deck, and I put 2 of them in here. And so I'm using this because it'll take up the arcane slot instead of my hand slot, and then I'll always have something that can do just 1 damage, give me a +1 fight and do 1 damage, and then it also I can, when it upgrades as well, I believe I can heal a horror if my attack is successful or whatever. So I don't know. I felt like I needed 2 sets of weapons. One like is a big beefy one is like a smaller one, and I was actually kind of thinking also about the 45 automatic and the 32 Colt and the survival knife, which is kind of like guard dog-ish. But I kind of settled on this because I dug on the upgrades for both. And then I'm also throwing in a backpack, and I don't know how you feel about backpack. I'm on the fence about this item, but it sounds cool because I don't have a body slot, and I'm just like, well, enters play. I can search the top 6 cards in my deck, get item or supply cards, and I also have emergency cash in this deck. So I was like, I could just put guns I can't play or emergency cash in my backpack and then just take that on my deck so I don't need to draw it anymore, kind of thing. But I wouldn't be hurt if you were like, dude, nobody plays backpack. That's such a noob thing. and in my head, I was just like, yo, man, I was like, he's going on an expedition. Leo's wearing a backpack with supplies in him. I don't know. So
Right. The backpack is one of those like that totally depends on your deck build, because the more items you have, the more valuable it gets.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So
Are those? Well, I guess you're still going. You
yeah,
still
I'm still gonna go. Let's just do the whole damn thing.
Okay.
All right. I'm telling you, when I'm done with this deck, you're gonna be like, you went way too cute with this thing. All right. So the next thing I put in here is this decorated skull, because I was really, really, really pumped about this. So it's the necklace. And so after an investigator, an ally, or an enemy at my location is defeated, I place a resource on the skull as a charge, and then I can spend a charge later for an action to draw a card and get a resource. And so I was like, if my allies are just gonna be taking hits and I'm gonna be killing enemies, like I'm gonna like just make bank off of these decorated skulls. And that might not be true, but I thought that was great. So now we're in this sort of get money part of my deck, because all my stuff is really expensive. Like Alice, B Copter 4, my Thompson 6. I got a lot of stuff. So now I have 2 decorated skulls. I got 2 lone wolves. This is a Winifred special over here. I got really into this card when Matt played it last one, so I got to put it in my deck, because these are our hybrid decks, so we're probably gonna be going by ourselves. And then the other sort of stuff is double emergency cash, because I got expensive stuff. All right.
Yeah.
To add more to the cuteness, I have double calling in favors, so I get to choose an ally asset I control to return to my hand, then search the top 9 of cards for another ally and play it, reducing its cost by X, where X is the cost of the ally that I returned to my hand. So the idea being here that if something's taking lots of hits and is about to die, instead of just having them die, I could actually just return it to my hand and replace it with something better or the same. I don't know. Got 2 of those. Again, I wouldn't be too butthurt if we we axe these, but that's where I'm at. More along the ally stuff. If I did Inspiring Presence ×2, if the skill test is successful, ready an ally asset at your location to heal 1 damage, 1 horror from it. Right now, this isn't really doing anything for my allies, because they don't really exhaust. I don't think. Maybe Alice does.
Yeah, you do. Alice and Beat Cop.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they do exhaust. Okay.
So sorry, the XP version of Beat Cop, you have to exhaust him.
Yeah. So right now I think it's just Alice, but the healing of the damage and horror is really great. And then I also get like head, book, or fist icons on this stuff. Here's another card that I was sort of iffy on. It's Trusted. It's a fast action. Attach to an ally to give him +1 health, +1 sanity. I'm not sure if I want to make my guys stronger or not. It just seemed like a good alternative heal for costing 1 and being a fast action. So it doesn't take up my actions. And then we have got to put in the Vicious Blow. So this is something that you were playing with Joey D, which I thought was amazing. So if this skill test is successful during an attack, this attack deals +1 damage. I thought that was to me was like sort of like a must card. It's probably a must card in other stuff. Another Joey D special, we got Scene of the Crime. Because we're playing hybrid, so I'm gonna have to pick up clues too. So I'm playing only as my first action, discover a clue. 2 clues if there's an enemy, and it doesn't do attacks of opportunity, and that's the important part of this card. And then I have more clue cards, and I put 1 of each in here because I didn't know whether I should have doubled up on one, doubled up on the other, or done something else altogether. So we have an evidence, which gives me 2 buck on the skill test, and it's fast play. And after I defeat an enemy, I can discover a clue. So this is one of those things where like I kill somebody, I can discover a clue, and then with Alice, I can also exhaust her and like do another damage to somebody. Like I was doing like all these things, and then Intel report. I was like, do I want evidence more than Intel report or Intel report more than evidence? So I put 1 of each. I don't know. This one's discover a clue, then pay money to get more clues, and you use this with Winnie as well. Another sort of not sure if this goes in here or not, and whether or not my money generation is good enough. I kind of threw this in here because I was like, Decorated Skull might not be as great as I think it is. And if that's the case, I really only have 2 emergency cash. And so I threw Watch This in here as the gambit. So if I can commit some resources to a skill test and win, then I can gain more money. And that way I can pay to actually play these allies and stuff. So this is my deck right now as it stands. And that was sort of the thinking I went through when I put it together. So I have about 6 allies. I have about 4 weapons. I have about, 6 cards for money generation. I have about 1, 2, 3, 4, like about 6 cards for clue generation, and some utility cards too. So it's one of those things where I'm not sure if by trying to be too cute with the ally thing and thinking too hard about being a hybrid, whether I've missed the mark completely on a deck that's actually good or not. So I would love to hear what your thoughts are on this.
Okay. So I think there's a couple points here that may or may not influence this. The first thing that you need to consider right off the bat is what difficulty we're playing on.
Right.
So that actually has a pretty big impact on certain cards that go in your deck and the value of certain cards.
Okay.
So, I think you said earlier, the guys we were looking at playing on hard.
Yeah.
And that can matter for a few reasons. So to give you an example of certain reasons that can matter is cards that auto grab clues, like Intel Report, Scene of the Crime and Evidence, they gain more value because you don't have to make a test. Cards like Watch This lose a little bit of value because you're more likely to fail them and hence not get the money.
Okay.
The other thing is you will probably not need to worry about your health or sanity, because having so many allies in your deck gives you more or less limited health and sanity because they soak everything for you.
Oh, right.
Something like the Enchanted Blade, you probably won't need to worry too much about being able to heal. I do think that, like, personally, when I'm running weapons, I do like to run 2 sets of 2, and then I'll run 1 copy of Blue has a card that lets you search the top 9 cards of your deck for a weapon. So, like, give yourself the consistency on that. But Enchanted Blade, I mean, one of the things to consider is, like, there's a lot of interesting weapon choices. Enchanted Blade is one of the ones that's always kind of like the basic version because you have to blow charges to make it work.
Yeah.
Are you going to really want it? So, but I think the main thing I'm saying is, like, you need more allies.
Okay.
You need more allies, and so with Decorated Skull also, that's another card actually that also, this one makes a huge difference on how many people are playing in your game, right?
Okay.
Because the more players you're playing with, more enemies that will be on the board for you to chase down, you to hunt, and the more ally assets that the whole team might have dying.
Right.
So this is one of those cards that I think is a good card, and it could be the right choice, but there is a chance that you'll just sit here and be like, I can't get charges on this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, you actually have pretty decent money between Lone Wolf and Emergency Cash. And finally, to connect to the point that I was making about us playing on hard mode, you don't have, like, a pump card in here. You don't have physical training or something where you can spend money to... Every class has a card where it's like, spend $1 to gain +1 to one of 2 skills.
Yeah.
So, like, right now with Fist, your Thompson's great because he gives +2.
Yeah.
Your Enchanted Blade, though, if you don't have your beat cop out, you're swinging for 5. Well, you kind of, in hard mode, want to try to be up +3 pretty regularly.
Okay.
So that's where Enchanted Blade might fail you a bit. And the calling in favors thing, I think, is interesting, but again, you need to, if you want to go that route, you just need more allies.
I need more allies. Okay.
Yeah. Finally, I think as far as, like, Trusted goes, you're fine with your allies dying. they're gonna have like a lot of utility. I don't know if you really need to keep them alive any longer.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna have so many of them. That's like a card where it's like there's like a key ally the deck's built on, and you need it not to die.
Yeah.
Leo's all about killing his friends, letting them die. Like the lore.
Yeah.
That.
When I was thinking about trusted, I was thinking about like Mitch Brown.
Mitch actually, the further you get in the game, the more Mitch sucks, because it's once you get a Charisma's just better than him.
Yeah. That's true.
So he's not. Basically, Mitch's job is to come out early and just soak a bunch of damage for you, and then kind of die.
Yeah.
But it is one of those things that can keep him alive, and like, inspiring presence is also interesting because it's like, if you have allies you need to untap, or I have allies that we can benefit from untapping, that also can make that card have a huge amount of value.
Yeah.
So like this card is like. Yeah.
Yeah, this one's like action compression. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not only action compression. If there's certain actions that being able to do them twice a turn, like an XP beat cop, can be massive. So it's more than just action compression, because you literally, even if you had 50 actions, you can only do beat cop once a turn.
Right.
Except this, you can. However, you do have to generate some kind of test to play this into. Because it's a skill card. So you can't just kind of do it on command. You can't just, it's not like an event where you just play it.
Right.
You have to skill test it. So, yeah. I don't know what you think about that.
No, I hear you. I'm happy to put in more allies in here. I just wasn't sure if that was the right move or not without talking to you. And I'm cool with sort of throwing Enchanted Blade and maybe putting something else in. So if we're talking about just putting over to the side, cards that might not make the cut. We're talking about possibly these.
And then maybe Inspiring Presence, depending upon if you feel like...
Yeah.
It's would be really good on XP Cop. The thing I would say is like, focus on like as far as your weapons go, because you're going to need some ability to fight. So if you go two hands, you do limit the ability to take anything. So Flashlight's a really good item with him, but there's a card called Bandolier. I don't know if you saw it.
I did see Bandolier. So I'm going to throw out of my bag the cards that I did not use, that I kind of just threw around. So again, Leo's here. Thinking about Adventurer if I went gun strat. These are the different other things that I was considering, and then we can sort of talk about the merits of these things or not. I was really excited about Sleight of Hand until I read the actual it got tabooed. And I was trying
to tabooed.
Yeah, it said you can't use Sleight of Hand with a two-handed weapon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so this is partly why I wanted to use the 45 Thompson, because I was like, yo, I could Sleight of Hand this 45 Thompson, like just destroy some fools, and then put it back in my hand. But it didn't make the cut. I took it out of the deck because I realized that it didn't actually work. ArkhamDB was like, you can't do this. Yeah, so the other thing that I was thinking about was the 45 automatic with the and the 32 Colt, and this survival knife, as well as like, a just in case kind of thing, something that can always go off that doesn't have anything to do with ammo. And then I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to have 4 guns that have ammo, then the Venturer suddenly becomes an ally that makes a little bit more sense as a non-unique ally, because he can just make sure that he keeps my ammo loaded.
So another alternate thought, just because this is so relevant to the direction you could go, is hypothetically, let's say you stuck with this, okay?
Yeah.
But the reason you're sticking with it is not because Enchanted Blade matters. Don't worry about it. Instead, you can also look at what XP weapons are there and understand that some of these things are placeholders, and you can be like, okay, I'm just going to put something in early, but I know that the weapon I really want to go for is the XP Colt or the XP 45, or maybe even something crazy like originally in Joe, one of the cards I was going to do before I went insane in the asylum is there's this 5 XP sword. It's like a real sick once per game ability
Is it a guardian
neutral,
card or?
it's a neutral card here.
Oh, it's a
Let me
neutral
place it right here. The Time Worn brand.
Oh, what is this? If his brand is ready, fight. You get +2 fists and 1 damage. Exhaust it. Fight. Add brain. Oh wow. Wow. What? If it defeats an elite enemy, draw 3 cards. What?
And otherwise, it's a one-handed weapon that has the same stats as your Thompson without having to spend bullets. So again, sometimes when you're building your deck, this is what you said you wanted to look at last time. It's like,
yeah.
don't just look at what you're building now. Also think about what you want to spec into. So like, if you're like, okay, I want to spend 2 hands on guns. Is that what I want to do the whole game? If the answer is yes, then okay, don't worry about things like flashlight and instead start looking at some XP guns. If you're wondering, well, do I want to keep room for flashlight? Well, how do you do that? Does that mean not using a 2-handed gun? Does that mean using a bandolier? Like, how do you envision playing Leo? Do you see him as a guy who carries a Thompson? Do you see him as a guy who carries a one-handed weapon, like a sword? Like, what do you see?
Oh, I see him carrying a big ass gun. Is how I imagined it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then the Thompson fits that bill pretty well. Then what you could do then is just leave Enchanted Blade in here or any of these things, and then go look at some of the other like sick XP guns. There's a lot of them. There's.
I know there was. It's almost overwhelming how many there are.
Flamethrower.
Yeah.
Shotgun sucks. The bar is amazing.
Yeah, I was looking at this thing too. Yeah.
It's really
so ridiculous.
Springfield was so bad that it was the only card that they like buffed on the taboo list. It actually only costs 3 XP now because of how bad it is.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Also, this card right here is the best ally in the whole game. In case you missed him.
Yep. Okay. So when I'm talking about the upgrades, the first thing I want to do is get charisma, and the second or third thing I want to do is get agency backup and then upgrade my beat cops. I don't know what else I'm going to do after that, but I definitely want to get at least 1 copy of this guy in. And so I was thinking in my head, like, I would lose the guard dog for this guy. Is probably what I would do, and then upgrade the beat cups. But
yeah.
And then after that, I would upgrade my weapons,
Vicious blows.
And then vicious blows on my list too.
Okay. Yeah. The other thing then to look at would be another thing to look at when you're talking about your initial deck, right? Is you can throw whatever allies you want in there. So something like, because you don't have charisma for our first mission, and Mitch Brown works the way he does, having like 2 beat cops and 2 guard dogs over like 2 Alice, like maybe 1 Alice. Because if you think about it, what are you going to pull out? If you want to drop your guard dogs over time, then have an extra one early when Mitch Brown can only come out with Mitch. And then like once you get charisma, that can kind of change it too. So like, I think that like with backpack, you either go harder and put some more items in, more supply, or lose
backpack and do the bandolier instead, and then
something like that.
Yeah.
So that's the way that I kind of look at it, like deck building in this game. So like, I think that you're looking at like what you want to go in each of your slots: hand, arcane if you're going to use it, body, ally, and then from there, if you're playing on hard, making sure you have some kind of a pump. So like for you, it'd be physical training. Which physical training is actually really good for him because he has a high number in both of the stats.
Which one is physical training? Where is that? Physical training right here.
Yeah. So that's really good with Leo because he has high mind and high fight. And so that will take you up to that like magic. Basically, you want to be entering most tests thinking around +3 or +4 over to have like, I think it's like a 75% chance of succeeding. So like, that's the kind of card that's like also really good for him. Again,
I think it was like arcane. Or was it like arcane thinking or?
Yeah, you cut that one because you had.
I cut it because I didn't need it. Yeah.
You're not going to get that with Leo. You're not going to. like you're not going to have. That's the trade-off of things like shriveling, is that they have the +2 on them to compensate for the fact that you can kill yourself with them.
Yeah.
Most weapons, like, they go to that +2, and yeah, it's if we're playing on hard mode, that also changes.
Yeah. All right, so if I think I'm gonna get rid of backpack and then not do the enchanted blades. Maybe I'll do a bandolier and a couple of guns that are cheaper, so that I can at least get them out if I can't get out the big boy. And so I think the cult is actually pretty great, and I know that the cult upgrade, it also lets me bring it back to my hand or something.
Yeah. Basically, the Colt's like it has built in your spirit speaker from Akachi. Like
Yeah.
The downside of the Colt is it doesn't have any pump on it, unlike every other weapon.
Yeah, I know, and that's why the 45-omatic is great, because it has at least +1, but it just costs a little bit more. So maybe, and you said we're on hard mode, so we kind of want pump. So maybe it's a couple 45-omatics, maybe a couple of the Thompsons.
So the Leo has another way to cheat on pump, but it would be something you build into. So like, I'll show you one more card to just keep in mind.
Yeah.
Wait, are we on XP? Okay, XP cards. Let me recall. These aren't okay. So green has a really cool ally that's amazing with Leo, called Hired Muscle. Hired Muscle over here to the right.
Yep.
If Leo plays Hired Muscle, he costs Leo 0. You have to pay 1 every turn, but you can also just kind of think him as an event for 0 mana, for 0 resources, because of the fact that Leo can play the ally before turn for 1 less. And he has an insane amount of soak. He has 3 health. For 1, he's 1 XP, $0, 1 pump. So there are other ways to get like around it if you want to go that route.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think there's like an investigate version of this one too, right?
I think it's this guy.
That's right here. Yeah, Treasure Hunter. Yep.
So that's also great with him, because you do have a pretty high investigate stat as well. It's a 3, so it's respectable. But obviously you can only fit so many things in your deck.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things, like thinking how you want to do it.
All right. Hold on. What if we do this? We got a 45 automatic in here. Got a couple of these. We grab a bandolier. So we can actually equip both of these things. Let's grab another. Do I want another guard dog, or do I want a venturer?
If you're planning on keeping it around and you want to go guns the whole game, venturer will be nice, because then you won't be wasting XP to put it in there later. If you think you might replace it, guard dog is a great thing to have early. That's a good thing to like cut later.
Okay. I'm gonna go double guard dog right now, and then see how the first scenario goes with the ammo situation, and then figure out what happens there. And so you're saying that I probably shouldn't be rocking another Alice.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Like, if you really want to play her and you want to build the deck around her with that thought in mind, do it. It's one of those things where but you're not going to be able to have both her and the way that if you put her out, you lose access to Mitch, guard dog, and police officer, all in the first mission.
Oh, that's true.
But mission 2 on, she is beneficial. Yeah. So if you really like her and you want to hold on to her, then keep 2. If you're unsure,
I think I'm gonna like her long run. All right. So there's that. We got some stuff. We're adding in physical training. Is this one of those cards that you feel like you need to have 2 of? I feel like it's a 1 of.
So I usually do two of in hard mode just because you want it early, but
For
like I usually end
consistency,
up
you want
running
it for the
hard mode.
consistency. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But
Okay.
now again, you might not with Leo, you might not need it because your stats are high enough. I usually by the end of the game have cut it down to one. So it could be one of those things that like right now you could easily just cut because you feel like I think I'll be okay. Like
Yeah.
if you really need it, you really need it. The last ally I'll have you look at, considering one or two of, just to
Yeah.
consider, is all right. So let me show you an event first. Okay, so this event right here, prepared for the worst, is
Okay.
how this helps you find your weapon. It's great. However, Leo and Blue have an alternate option right down here, Tetsu. Tetsuo Mori, what he does is he's an ally you want early and you want him to die because he lets you or me search top 9 cards of our deck for an item asset, like a gun, equip it, and then once he's dead, that's okay, that's his job. So basically, he's another decent like one of, or if you want to dig for your weapons and you want to make sure you get them,
Yeah.
you can play him.
This is actually
But
really interesting. And so,
yeah,
what other things are considered items? They're
it'll say. I mean, you see where it says it, right?
Yeah.
Under the. Okay, so basically anything that you would think would be an item, most of the time is. So any
Okay.
weapon.
Yep. It's my
anything-
my bandolier and my guns right now.
The backpack is.
Yeah.
The cursed skull is. If you went that route, but
There's something about this cursed skull, man, that like. It's like Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, man. It's just like come get me. I'm gonna kind of put him like kind of halfway in between here, just to...
then run one of them. Play like I can offer suggestions, but I also get stuck in my own mold.
Yeah.
And like if play things that are fun, play things that are different. Play. Danny has played Decorated Skull a couple times. Generally, what I found is that like I like the idea of it, but it just doesn't get the charges that you want it to.
Yeah.
I think the idea of it's really cool.
Yeah. I'm gonna put him back in. I'm putting Decorated Skull back in, dude.
Actually, without giving you any spoilers, Decorated Skull could be really good on both paths, but in particular on the Dreaming path.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a special mechanic called swarming that exists in the Dreamlands that would make that thing actually really, really, really good. Yeah, definitely run one of them. I totally didn't think about swarming with
Okay,
that thing.
this makes me. I am definitely running one of them. There's something about this. I was like,
Yeah.
It was like the first item like I looked at in like the Rogue, and I was like, oh, this is made for me.
Yeah. No, it's cool, man. It is a cool card. Do you want to run Leo DeLuca? Like basically, you can take you could start him not in your deck to start, and then you could take the XP version of him if you wanted him later. Like, do you want, because the XP version of him is exactly the same. It just costs 5 instead of 6 and costs 1 XP.
Yeah.
Is that something you want to build towards? Like,
well, I mean, I would love to have him in my deck. And if you think I have room for more, I would put him in. I would probably maybe put him in, and maybe that Tetsuo Mori guy.
yeah.
But then I'm like, wait, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That'll be 9 allies, which seems like crazy town.
So what I'm thinking here is like when I'm saying put him in, first of all, that doesn't mean now. I'm saying put him in later when you have charismas, and just put the XP version of him.
Oh, okay.
Second, you don't need to run 2 of each. Like, I think 2 beat cops and 2 guard dogs, 2 of the non-unique allies that Mitch can do.
Yeah, it works with like his thing. Yeah.
Right, or Venture. But like things like Alice, Leo, Tetsu, you can be like, I'll just take one of these.
Right.
You don't necessarily need to. So that's something to consider too. It's like you don't always need to go 2 of especially the unique allies.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna do 1 Alice and one Mori, and I realize that I'm gonna lose out on my consistency of grabbing Alice, but knowing how things work sometimes, like the way we were playing Akachi, and I couldn't pick up Shriveling when I needed it, it hurts. Like when you don't have a way to like get the thing that you really need.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's just like, and if I for some reason can't get to my guns, then like who cares that I got Alice? Yeah.
Yeah, and that is the problem with blue. It's like there isn't anything like Arcane Initiate
Yeah,
that you either have to run Prepared for the Worst or Tetsuo to get your weapon consistency, or run like 6 weapons.
yeah,
Um, so that's why I always take like at least one Prepared for the Worst, or like with Leo a Tetsuo, because then
yeah.
he does that. And the best part about Tetsuo, Prepared for the Worst only works on you.
Yeah,
Tetsuo you can use on me if you found your weapon.
I like that. I like that a lot. And what's particularly nice about Tetsuo as well is like I don't necessarily need my guns until I start taking damage from somebody. And so if I'm taking some damage from somebody and he's dying because I got attacked, it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna grab my gun now.
Right.
You know what I mean? All right, so that's kind of cool. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 allies. So I went up 1. I probably could do another one maybe, but we'll see. We've got 4 guns. We have 2 two-handed, 1 one-handed with the bandolier, decorated skull, physical training as assets. The lone wolf, emergency cache. That's definitely going in. Vicious blow is a definite.
I don't think you need bandolier unless you're planning on running something like a flashlight or magnifying glass, because you either want your Thompson, or you'll always want your Thompson more than you want your automatic. You don't.
Oh, that's
really
true.
need
They're both doing +1 damage.
this, and they're both doing the same job. Like bandolier is what you run if you want to be able to hold like an offhand clue gathering thing, since you're going hybrid.
Right. Which actually, is that not? That's actually not that bad of an idea.
Because right now, I mean, like this top half of your deck feels much more like a combat focus.
Yeah, it is combat focused. If I
Which
do
is fine.
bandolier, what I would do is I would grab 2 flashlights and get rid of.
I mean, inspiring presence would be better if you're doing combat, like pure combat. If you're not going to be doing pure combat and you want to do some clue, I mean, that card
Yeah,
just lets you use B cop more often, you know?
yeah. So let's do that. Let's keep the bandolier in. Let's grab a couple flashlights. I believe that's neutral.
Yep.
All right, hold on. Let's recall that. Let's place this. And there it is.
Maybe you run something like one calling in favors, like you like, because that would help you find your Alice. That would help you. You could be like, this guard dog's about to die anyway. I'm gonna shove my guard dog back into my deck to look for Alice. Shove my beat cop back in my deck to heal it effectively.
Yeah.
And find Tetsuo. Like,
Yeah, I'm into that. I really dug it. I just wasn't sure how relevant it was going to be. So now I have a Tetsuo Mori to get my weapons, and I have this calling in favors to get my ally. That feels kind of good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 cards.
Okay. So, Colt-wise, you could also, like, so Survival Knife, if you look at the reaction on Survival Knife,
I know, it's great.
You could do something like make this your secondary weapon instead of automatic, and then if you didn't need the clue gather, you could run your Thompson and your Survival Knife until you find your flashlight, because Survival Knife basically gives you a free swing.
Yeah.
During enemy phase. So I'm saying like instead of 45. I think they're both reasonable choices. If you wanted to go do something like,
because I don't have the venture in, I'm okay with putting the Survival Knife in instead. This was sort of like the original like Enchanted Blade idea, where like it was like I had a main and just like a thing I had on my hand just in case.
Right, because these don't feel exactly the same way.
Yeah.
Like Survival Knife like gives you a free attack during the enemy phase.
Yeah. It also feels very on brand. He's like off in the forest. He's like in the jungle. He's got like his knife.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Didn't they machete? Why don't I remember? I feel like they made a machete and I don't remember what it does.
So machete got tabooed, so I didn't put it in because I think it costs XP now.
Oh yeah. The blue. That's right. I forgot machete is just the blue card that we all stopped using because it was so broken.
Yeah.
They had to nerf it. And then we never took it once it cost XP.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. This card was bananas. Like this was the only weapon anybody ran early on.
So I was hanging out here in the mod and I initially put it in, and then when I put my deck in ArkhamDB, it told me, oh no, it's way too good, and I was like, oh,
Taboo.
okay.
Yep.
And I was like, I put it back. I was like, okay, that makes complete sense to me. I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I still feel like I might be okay. Well, the flashlights help with the clue. Maybe I should pump up another intel report and another evidence, and then just sort of round this out.
So yeah.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Yeah. If I do this,
Well, did you count these two cards? 'Cause
they
these
don't count toward my limit, right?
Right. So I didn't know. I didn't.
No, I
see
wasn't
one.
counting that. Yeah.
Okay. So then you still have 4 slots
6,
left,
7, 8, 9,
and then those would be
17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 28. Yeah, so I have 2 more slots left.
okay. So you could load up more on like another calling in favors if you really want to go hunt for allies. You could. What else did you have over here? Emergency aid.
You know, I had your usual taking initiative, unexpected courage, overpowered perception, like your
Oh, okay,
standards.
okay. So unexpected courage, pretty much every deck I think running 2 of unexpected courage is
Yeah,
always-
I'm okay with that. That's why that's like on the sideboard over here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, like, you know, how you
Ours-
felt about, you know, utility cards that might just be crap in your hand, like emergency aid and like teamwork and stuff. I didn't feel too strongly about that kind of stuff.
So teamwork is again gets way better with more players.
Yeah, I
And
figured.
especially if you're running a green person with a lot of money.
Yeah.
Unexpected courage I'd always run. I usually run like 1-2 icon card of my
Your main
role.
stat,
So
right? Yeah.
Yeah, right. Take the initiative is actually bananas because if you use it during the mythos phase, it will always have 3 question marks.
Right. But
So-
if you go before I do, then it's trash on Arkham.
Right, but you do it during the mythos phase, not the investigator phase. So any on whatever bad card you draw, it will always have 3 question marks, even if I go before you, because nobody's taken an action. That's not an action.
Yeah.
Me drawing
It's just
mythos card
unexpected courage is so much more.
versatile because
It's just so much more
you can't-
versatile than that.
Right, and take the initiative also you can't use on me.
Yeah.
So of the 2, I think unexpected courage is better.
Okay.
I'm not
I
saying
think I might just round it out with an unexpected courage. And then this might be it. My hybrid Leo deck right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 allies, 4 guns, some cute things like a skull and calling in favors, and then some money grabbing stuff and some clue gathering stuff, and some general pump.
Sure.
We feeling pretty alright by this?
Yeah. I think it looks very, very solid, and you know, if you want to add another cute thing in and cut something else, I mean, do it. Like if you feel like there's something else that you're really feeling would be fun or if it was the theme.
No, I mean the things that like I was like really pumped about was like the decorated skull. I think I was like the most pumped about that guy. So I'm happy that he made the cut. And yeah, I'm actually really pumped about calling in favors that made the cut too. I think those are the 2 ones that I was just like, well, if I'm going ally heavy, like let's do this whole ally thing.
And then you can always throw another one in and cut out, like, I don't know, 1 evidence or something. Like, I mean, if one of those is really speaking to you or both of them, you know, you can always cut, like, because basically for Clue Gather right now, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 clue-based cards. So, I mean, your Clue Gather's pretty solid. Your combat's pretty solid. Like, if you really feel like one of these 2 things is, like, speaking to you, throw another one in and cut, like an evidence or
Cut
something.
an evidence, probably.
Think about money, cut an intel report if you're worried about consistency of picking up clues, cut an evidence. Because evidence is situational. Intel, money.
Ooh, do I want another decorated skull or do I want another calling in favors? Ooh, this is rough. I think you're right. I think I really only need 1 of undecorated skull. I think that's not really a thing.
Okay.
You know what? I'm fine. I'm fine with this. I think this is good. And if you think that I'm pretty well rounded here, then I'm This is awesome. That's exactly what I needed. Sort of just to talk through all that stuff. I knew I was going a little too crazy.
Well, you have a lot of economy. You have emergency cash, you have lone wolf, and decorated skull. Those are all money. Those are solid. So you got that element covered. So your deck isn't terribly expensive because every ally effectively costs you kind of like one less.
Yeah, one less. Yep.
It seems like you have good kind of across the board. And like if anything, I mean like this thing sucks, but it's fine until you upgrade it, and that's gonna happen. Sometimes in your starting deck, you play like a subpar thing, especially on a weapon.
Yep.
Because this is way cheaper than Colt. Like.
Yeah.
And it does kind of give you a free attack.
Yeah, I do like having a 2-cost weapon. It does feel nice to have a 2-cost weapon.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
All right. Oh, that didn't. Okay, that did work. All right, so I'm gonna put all these away, and I'm gonna leave my deck over here, unless you want me to clear room for you.
No, that's fine. That's fine. The only thing that I am gonna tell you is that like you are going to find that until you have this card, you are gonna struggle some with your ability to hit that magic number now.
Okay.
Just hard mode is gonna be harder. So that would be the only thing. Take some time to think about it because you might want 2 of these early. Not for sure, but it's just hard mode feels different. Hard mode, you like before on normal, getting to +2 was fine, and most of the time your standard things will get you there. But on hard,
this is actually really important because before stream, guys, Matt and I were sort of talking on text about like whether or not we were going to stay on normal and whether we're going to go on hard, and I want to go on to hard, and so that's what we're going to do. But my hesitation was we lost on normal. But the way that I felt about the last couple scenarios was I felt like we really hit this groove in which the scenarios weren't really hitting us with things that were too bad, right? And so that's why I felt like, okay, well, we probably should up the chaos bag then so that we feel that balance a little bit better. I don't know. But yeah, again, I just don't know what the hard bag is really going to feel like. And so the fact that you've mentioned this to me now like a couple of times makes me feel like I should put a second physical training in and then lose one of the evidences.
Yeah. Evidence is the one card in there that's kind of like
because
it's awesome when it works.
Yeah.
But
because I was already kind of not like I only put one evidence in when I started the deck anyway because I was sort of feeling like weird about it. Like I was like, I don't know, this like in theory sure, but sometimes we go through missions where you're not really killing a lot, you're just gathering. So okay, I'm okay with that then.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I probably should and as far as my upgrade is concerned, I was thinking about charisma, and then I'm not sure whether 1 or 2 charisma is good. Probably just 1. I don't know. But yeah, I definitely want the agency back up. Upgrade the beat cops. Upgrade whatever weapons I had. Upgrade vicious blow. And then, there was like all these cute things that are just like dressing, right? Which is like the tarot card and like all that other stuff. But
yeah, I mean the tarot card's another great one, right? Because it is just free pump. It's a free plus fight.
It's a free, and if you get in your opening hand, then it's just amazing.
Yep. And I think that your big question is like, normally I would 100% take 2 charismas with him. However, this is a 4-part campaign instead of an 8-part campaign.
Yeah.
So that can kind of change up some deck build too. Like we will be getting more XP per mission, but our cards will be not used as often.
Yeah.
So that's something to think about as well.
Okay.
Cool. So how do you want to do this? Do you want me to like pull up the character that I was?
Yeah, you pull up the character, and then we can just start throwing cards in and just talking about whatever you want to do.
So where is she? So I was thinking a lot about trying to play somebody different, who played differently than what we had done in previous missions. Here, I'm just going to copy her instead of taking it. I will put all this stuff. Okay, so up here we have Safina Rousseau. Now I've had I played through an entire Dunwich campaign with somebody playing her. She's awesome. However, there's a lot of cards in it.
Yeah.
Safina is interesting, and actually you'll find this. Both the characters I think I'm going to play specialize in a certain type of card. She needs more events, and the other guy I'm going to play is going to need skills.
Okay.
Because the way that she works, and actually let me go and pull out one more thing related to her.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull her special cards out because they make a huge difference in how she works. Hold on. I'm sure it's giving me. Oh, I see. Hold on. Let me see how the actual amount is here because she's weird. Okay, 3. All right, got it. So she has this element right here.
Okay.
Copying it.
So while you're doing that, I'm gonna read her passive here. Force: when you withdraw your opening hand, draw 13 cards instead, which is nuts. Choose up to 5 events to place beneath this card, and then keep 8 cards as your opening hand. Discard the rest. You can't mulligan. So she can action, choose an event beneath this card and draw it. Does not provoke attacks of opportunity. And then the star effect is a +3. You may choose an event beneath this card and draw it. That's amazing. So it's basically just like a deck backpack.
It is. And so she also has something different. Like most characters have 1 signature strength card and 1 signature weakness. She has 3 signature strength cards and 1 signature weakness. And they are all this card called the Painted World, which the art actually kind of sucks on that card. I never noticed. Just doesn't look like her. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that card just gets to clone one of the events underneath her. So one of the things that's difficult with her is you need to make sure that that your deck has a good amount of events, both because her signature strength card, which you have 3 of, only copies the events underneath her, and second, if you draw a terrible opening hand of 13 cards, which isn't super likely, but if you draw it and it doesn't have a bunch of events in it, then your opening hand might be something like, I put 3 events under her and I have 10 cards in my hand, and so I have to discard down to 8 cards.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
So it could backfire, but if you build the deck right, that shouldn't happen. Also, her deck size is 33 cards. So her deck just has 3 more cards in it.
Okay, which are these 3 basically?
No. Not
those 3. Not including these. Okay, sorry.
Right. So basically, her deck's just a little fatter. It's fatter because she has 2 extra signature cards, and it's fatter because she cards in it.
Oh, and you can use Mystic cards level 0 to 2. That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah. So there's a lot of interesting choices with her.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of looking at some of the choices with her that I like. And so I guess what we can do then is we can kind of pull up her cards on these side areas real quick.
I think I like where this character is going already. This is so interesting, and I love this. The weakness card is great too. Just remove one of your events from the game. Like that's savage. That's great.
Yeah. Well, and the worst part is it just gets shuffled back into your deck.
Yeah.
Until your deck has 5 or less cards too. So it really sucks.
Yeah.
Really bad. But okay, so let's go over here to the 0 cost cards. Recall
this. Yep. Let's place that.
So real quick, I will take from the neutral cards real fast a couple ones that are pretty standard. To at least consider.
Okay.
And I'm just going to throw some of these over there.
Yep.
and we can turn that into purple cards otherwise.
Okay, cool. We'll do that. Let's recall that. Let's place these. All right, cool. Mystic on the bottom now.
Okay, so I'm gonna start with, like I said, two unexpected cards, two emergency cash.
Okay.
Generally, that's what I'm gonna put in most decks, unless a color has an alternate money gain.
Yeah.
Which this one might there's a lot of really good XP cards that are events.
Yeah.
That are great events for bucks. So Fine Clothes is something that's always worth considering. I know you didn't see any of this, but
I mean, I looked at Fine Clothes as well, and in my head I was just like, how many times are we really parlaying? And then I was thinking my the last campaign, and I was like, I think there was 2 scenarios of the 8 where you were parlaying, and one of them was going to the party, which made sense to me. It's wear Fine Clothes to the party, but it's one of those things where it's is this one of those things that you just put in knowing that you were going to upgrade a body slot later, or basically does the parlay thing actually matter most of the time?
if you know the campaign, this can be huge. So having this before that party mission in our last campaign
would have been amazing.
So much.
Yeah, it would have made everything so easy.
Chances are I will probably end up cutting this, but worst case scenario, it's 1 resource for a 1-in-1 soak.
Yeah, totally.
So I'll just throw it over there.
Yeah.
For now. As far as green cards go, skills wise, I'm not necessarily going to be running a lot of skills with her.
Yeah.
On XP wise, I'll throw over here a quick thinking. And I'm going to look at the assets first. I'm going to go to events last because that's going to be the meat and potatoes.
Oh, and real quick, not to interrupt you, but hey, what up, Xbox? Thank you so much for the wheel spin, dude. I'm going to spin your wheel right now, so you can see it, and then we'll get back to it. And dude, I love quick thinking, man. But yeah, that was another one of those that ArkhamDB was taboo. You can only use one of these. Make it real.
I was looking at this Crystallizer of Dreams card. 1 cards for 1 copy of it. Play an event. See, this card is made for her. And I need to go and consider it. The issue is, and I'm trying to pull up the cards, pull out. I have the real version here.
Yeah.
So this card, what's so crazy about it is when you equip it, is your deck to get worse. Okay.
1 copy of Guardian of the Crystallizer.
Yeah, and I'm not sure exactly where to find that here, but I have the physical copy right here. So basically, it's an amazing card, but it causes you to put one of these into your deck.
Hold on, I think I can put.
It's a 3/3/3 monster.
All right, I put it up on the stream there. Yeah, it's a 3/3/3 monster. Bonded, Crystallizer of Dreams is Hunter, Prey, Investigator with the Crystallizer of Dreams only. Guardian of the Crystallizer enters play is Exhausted, and then it says Forced. If there's no Crystallizer of Dreams in play, set Guardian of the Crystallizer aside out of play, and it'll hit you for 1 physical, 1 mental.
Yeah. I think I'm almost certainly going to try this, both because it synergizes with her, and second, because I haven't seen anybody play it. Also, her deck is a little fatter, so we're likely to not see the Guardian of the Crystallizer.
Yep.
It enters play Exhausted, which is not a big deal. I'm pretty good at evading, so I think we're going to be trying this as my next slot. The only problem is I need to figure out how many spells I'm running too, because it's tempting to also use a Rosary. Because she can run Rosary.
All right. She's got a good head stat too. Yeah.
Yep. So with her, the rogue green card is the pump card so good, the hard knocks, but I'm not going to be using my punch ever, so I probably don't need that one.
Yeah.
Necklace wise, I'm not taking Lucky Cigarette Case again because I'm going to be using a different necklace. As far as weapons go, I think what I'm going to be using for a weapon is I'm going to be using spells.
Okay.
So I'm not even going to be looking at guns up here. The only big question as far as assets goes is allies. Like, what ally do I want to run, if any?
Right.
And I do. I do want to run an ally with her. So trying to use something like a little strange could be interesting.
I mean,
So Dario.
yeah, I mean, if you want to run Leo, you can go for it.
No, no, I would rather actually run something different. So
Okay.
you can run. Um, I want to go and see about possibly maybe running like a ally.
Oh, thank you so much for the raid, Kindij. Appreciate it.
Right on, man. So David Renfield would let me get a lot of money and pump my mind even more.
That's such an interesting ally.
Yeah, he is. Alyssa Graham, I don't want.
You just basically are saying like, hey, I want Doom on this guy.
Exactly. So what you can do with him, he's worded kind of weird, but basically, you can exhaust him. Like, let's say I put 2 Doom on him.
Yeah.
After that, I can exhaust him to just get 2 resources and not put the 3rd Doom. Exhaust him the 4th time. So you can kind of like cap him at a certain amount.
Sure.
But
you can cap him and then kill him. Yeah.
Yeah. I think most likely what I will probably end up doing is playing an XP ally eventually.
Yeah.
So whoever I put there in the meantime, I can kind of like ignore. But Diana, you never really got to use.
I never got to use her because my deck wasn't built. My deck was built on assets, on spell assets rather than spell events.
Yeah.
But Diana, I really wanted. There was an iteration of that Akati deck that could have been Diana, but since I didn't have a spell events, it wasn't worth it.
Right. I think she might be. Really
she might
good.
be your gal.
Well,
the attached event may be played here if it's in your hand. You can keep playing it.
I would be like using Ward of Protection or whatnot.
Right.
Or spell event wise. So the other events that she's by the way really good with. I guess I'm kind of getting ahead of myself because I'm jumping to the purple ones, but that's because I think they're going to be so.
She's good at, like the ones that I was really pumped about with Diana when I was thinking about her was Ward of Protection and Storm of Spirits, and Spectral Razor. Those ones. Yeah.
There's also this card called Read the Signs, which is the blue version of Spectral Razor.
Yeah, so that's really good too.
I might throw. So I think I'm probably going to go for Diana eventually. So in the meantime, then I'll take like an ally that's going to kind of hold a slot for me, which will most likely be. Who do I want for like a mission or 2? Somebody maybe with like Soak.
Right.
Somebody funny and gambly.
I mean, Gambly is David Renfield. So is Olive. Olive McBride is Gambly.
If I go purple, or I can go and try one of these other weird green ones that I've never done before, like Grigory Guy.
Alyssa Graham is kind of interesting.
She is, except for the mind stat doesn't. I mean, the book stat doesn't help me.
Oh, okay.
The basement stats
you're right,
too. Otherwise, I would. Yeah. I could go truly gambly with like Henry Wan.
Let me see, Henry
Get
Wan.
a card or a book.
That's like pure gamble.
He's a genuine gambling man.
That's awesome.
And it's cool. He would give me some interesting card draw. I wish he was like a 2/2 instead of a 1/2. That's the only thing kind of like turning me on.
Yeah.
Joey the Rat Vehil's like never made the cut for any of us ever. He's just too expensive.
Yeah. He seems like trash. So. Dario seems really interesting, but he seems very expensive and very hard.
Dario's amazing, but again, I'm wasting the book.
Yeah.
So I think maybe I'll just try one of these guys, either Henry or Grigory to start, just for the hell of it. Just try something different. I
think Henry Wan's more interesting than Gregory.
Yeah, he is. Plus, the art on Gregory is making me really mad.
It makes me uncomfortable.
His face is like, it's not right.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like some sort of weird like painting. Okay, yeah, we're going Henry for art and interest. Henry, he looks great. He's handsome.
This is how you deck build everybody.
Yeah.
you look to see who's got a weird face, and you don't pick him.
Yeah, and you're like, nah. Okay, so as far as events go, so I need to go and build something hybrid. Um, we Backstab, I think, is going to be pretty good with her. Very good with her.
Yeah, yeah,
Sneak attack is going to be really good with her. You handle this one is great for having you take enemies.
yeah,
So I'm just going to do a copy of each of some of these different ones that sound good.
yeah,
Contraband is actually phenomenal for like loading your gun. So if I was running a gun, also I'd run it,
yeah.
but I'm not. So I think that's not going to make the cut.
There's also a good upgrade version of this one too, I think.
Yes, there is. There is.
Yeah,
But again, it's like one of those ones that gets more beneficial if more people on your team
yeah.
are running it. I don't think I'm ever going to be doing let God sort them out. Um, but I could always take one copy of I'm Out of Here. This will probably be cut later, but I'm going to take one copy of it so that if Joey D had this card,
If Joey D had this card, yeah, I mean, he would have gotten the hell out of there. I
he
love
would have gotten the
the
hell out of
phrasing on this. Resign. You get the hell out of there.
there. Exactly.
And,
Exactly.
and then the flavor text: quitters may never win, but they also rarely die.
But they rarely die.
That's
Right?
great.
Um, Elusive is so good that they also taboo listed it, so I
Okay,
can't take that.
I'm really upset about this because the next deck that I was gonna build, like basically, like this was the first card that I took in my off class, and then I went to go to ArkhamDB, and then it was like it's tabooed. You have to pay 2 experience for it. I'm like, ugh, makes it decidedly worse.
Exactly. Yeah, it is a very very good card, and I understand why they did taboo it because it was crazy. Swift reflex is interesting. Okay, so these are kind of all the ones that I'm going to take and move over there from the green color.
Yeah,
Um, they are all so small favor
yeah.
and
This is a new
intel.
one. Yeah,
Yeah, that gives me on demand damage without having to take a test.
yeah. I like that
Intel,
a lot. That's kind of cool.
sneak attacks damage. So this is good, but a lot of this stuff, guys, like I think we're going to be finding that a lot of purple events are going to be in for consideration here.
Yep.
This is
Yep.
all right. I'm almost certainly taking those.
Yep.
Certainly taking one of those. I'll put 2 there.
Yeah. And the quick thinking is great.
Yeah, I'll shove them over here, but like we'll see.
Oh, that's not an event. Quick thinking.
It is not an event exactly. That's
I thought it was. Okay.
sure about it. So that's the thing. Looking at some of this though, if I'm going to be running things like Intel Report and Small Favor, I need more money. So I might need Gregory Guy. Oh wait, no, this guy also gives me bucks. Henry can find me bucks too.
Yeah.
Okay. No, we like Henry. He's your boy. He can give me cards or bucks.
Yeah.
Gambly.
It's gamble for bucks, but that's like
We're gonna have a good
that's that's the way the green lives.
Yeah, it is. It is. Okay. So now we got to get down to some interesting purple cards. So again, we'll look at the skills and the assets first. Skills wise, I don't think I'm going to be using any of their skills.
These don't
Fearless,
seem like
the
right thing.
If I'm ever going to go for Fearless, I'll probably just take the XP.
Yep.
Asset wise, Forbidden Knowledge could be okay for money gain, but I have plenty of money gain. Spell wise, this is where things are going to get interesting. I think I might go Wither.
Wither's pretty cool because it doesn't have any charges. Is what I like about Wither.
It does, and that is true. And so that is a temptation. It also doesn't do 2 damage. So like the thing is like if I'm gonna go Wither and I'm gonna go the Clue version of it, Sixth Sense. Why am I not seeing Sixth Sense?
Sixth Sense is over here.
Okay, so Wither and Sixth Sense. If you run those cards, you actually probably want to go Olive McBride.
Right.
So that would be the other choices is instead of Henry, I could run Olive.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to run Olive full game.
Right.
So now Sixth Sense does have a fantastic upgraded version of it. Um, but those cards, the reason that you want to run them with Olive is that Olive increases your chances of finding the bad tokens,
Yeah.
which aren't them. They're good with them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a whole different build. So I think what I might be doing here then is I might have to go with some Shriveling and some Rite of Seeking, which I know that you played.
Yeah.
Trying to
But
avoid too much.
listen, I love these cards. I think they're great.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, you won't be able to upgrade your Shriveling, but you will be able to upgrade your Rite of Seeking, I think.
Um, can't. Oh, is the first tier? The first tier of Shriveling is 5, isn't it?
No, the first tier is 3,
I mean
and then
3.
it's 5.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And then Rite of Seeking. Okay.
Yeah. But Rite of Seeking, I think the first wave is 2 XP.
Okay. So then maybe then
So then
that's actually a very relevant point you bring up there.
And then hold on. And Wither, I believe. Where is Wither?
Wither and Sixth Sense XP wisely. Yeah, let's take a look at those because that's actually super relevant since I can only go to level 2.
Yeah.
Wither
goes straight up to level 4, I think.
Okay, so I'm not going to ever be able to run the XP versions of them.
But Rite of Seeking is 2 XP, so you'll be able to do that one.
So we're definitely going to run Rite of Seeking. And then it comes down to, do I want Wither with only 3 charges, Shriveling with only 3 charges, or Wither? Because this spell is what I'm going to be using the whole game, and if this is my primary form of combat other than abilities.
That's probably Wither, so you can keep it all game.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be taking this. Now, she might want Arcane Studies on doing spells, but the book is redundant. So if anything with her, I might end up going for one of the high XP pump cards. It's hard with her because my 2 stats aren't on the same. My 2 good stats aren't on the same pump card for anything.
It's head and foot.
Yeah. So that's just awkward there. So these cards right here are the assets that we're going to be looking at. Let me make sure there's no other ones that I'm really.
We didn't play any cards with seal again, and so that means you take it out of the bag, right, and you put it on this card, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes. Okay. So, by the way, I will show you one thing that I am going to be upgrading into that's huge. But I do need to figure out what I want my other hand slot to be, and it might just be a Ritual Candles. This is.
That's just solid.
Card.
That's solid.
It's fine. However, just to give you guys to whet your appetite.
Okay.
If you want to see how I'm going to be dealing with things, come over to the purple XP cards. Where is it? This is the card that I'm probably going to be playing.
What is this? Okay. 3
this
cost.
Is it.
As an additional cost to play Summon Hound, you must search your bonded cards for 1 copy of Unbound Beast and shuffle it into your deck. During your turn, except during an action, exhaust Summon Hound, fight/investigate. Either attack with a base skill of 5 or a base book skill of 5. That's amazing.
Right. So you need to go look up Unbound Beast because this is like the Crystallizer.
Okay.
It puts another bad enemy in your deck and it's hilarious. But I think this is what I'm going to be going with.
Okay, hold on. Let me put it up on the screen here. Whoops. We're not doing that. Okay, Unbound Beast is another one of those 3. It's another 3/3/3 monster, extra dimensional, Tindalos. Praise the Bearer, Hunter, Retaliate, Revelation. If there's no copy of Summon Hound in play, set Unbound Beast set aside out of play. Otherwise, set an Investigator, Summon Hound aside out of play, and spawn Unbound Beast engage with the same Investigator. Okay, and I'll hit you for 1 and 1.
Yep. So your puppy can turn on you, but if your puppy doesn't turn on you,
it's giving you like crazy stats.
Right. Exactly.
That is funny, dude.
So he will probably be what I'm going for there. Okay. So hard-wise right now, before I put events in, I'm looking at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19. So out of my 33 cards, I've done 19. So that would leave me 14. So that's probably going to not be enough slots for events, but we're gonna. So I might need to trim some stuff here.
Right.
Drop a ritual candles.
Drop fine clothes. Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're gonna go look. So I already looked at the green events, right?
Yeah.
That's what this pool is. All right. Now we're gonna look at purple events because there's a lot of really, really interesting choices here. Okay. So deny existence, incredible.
Yes. So good.
Premonition, solid. Drawn to the flame.
Yep.
Also good.
Yep.
Uncage the Soul is a fantastic card, but I don't think I'm playing enough spells to warrant it.
Yeah. I love. This was one of my favorite cards in the Akachi deck. Uncage the Soul.
Yeah. Oh, the best part about it is you can actually run this instead of guts.
Yeah.
And even though you get the card draw, it's still great.
Yeah.
Water protection is an absolute 100%
Absolute must.
I forgot about Open Gate.
Oh, dude.
Do we want Open Gate? Oh, I'm running one delve too deep.
Oh, yes.
You're getting one delve too deep. Don't even worry about it, bro. Open Gate. So this is interesting because it's a myriad card. This gives us unprecedented mobility, potentially.
Investigators may move between any two locations with an attached open gate. And you get how many of these in your deck?
So
2?
myriad means you can put up to 3. So this is the problem. Maybe I don't want it with her. The issue with myriad is that or with her deck is it's a little bigger, and that card is only useful if you find at least 2 of them.
And what if you end up having 3 or 2 or 3 open gates underneath your card?
Let me check. Well, that's what I want to see is if Painted World. Well, if it's under me, that's good because I can take him out and play him. She just has the ability to take anything under her out.
Oh,
but
right, with the thing, yeah.
Painted World can copy it, then Open Gate gets crazy because we can just connect the whole map. But sometimes that can be bad because that can make enemies be able to chase us even easier.
Okay, so we open the gate, the enemies can actually go through the gate as well.
Let me see how it's worded.
Because it says investigators may move between
investigators. No, actually, that can help us kite even better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because otherwise it probably would have said actors or whatever may move.
I don't think Painted World works on it because it says play it as an exact copy of a non-exceptional event. Remove the Painted World from the game instead of discarding it. I don't think it can sit on the location as a gate. If it could, I would absolutely do it, but I don't think the way it's worded, I don't think it sits there like that.
Play only during your turn attached to a location.
It says because Painted World has the extra text of remove it from the game instead of discarding it, that implies to me that immediately, I don't know.
So you feel like it's an instance, not like a card that sits out.
Yeah, well, because the real version does sit out. The real Open Gate sits there attached.
Well, the last sentence is remove the Painted World from the game instead of discarding it. So if Open Gate never gets discarded, then you never remove this from the. You interpret it that way as well, right? It only gets removed from the game when you discard it.
That's the question. Let me go. Let me call my lifeline, dude. In the meantime, as we're talking about this.
Mr. Slimp.
My Slimp. I'm gonna put a thing out to Slimp.
Yeah.
I will throw definitely Astral Travel. So I might be running an Astral Travel if I'm not running the gates. If the gates work that way,
then you don't need the travel.
We're running gates. We're gonna do some weird. We're gonna connect our whole board to each other.
I would love that.
All right, so this is my pool of events that we're looking at.
You're not gonna run read the sign Spectral Razor?
Oh, I sorry, I pulled them when you were looking at the other thing.
Yeah.
Here, you can look up here at this pool.
Oh, yeah. I got them. Yeah. This is nice. I know. There's weird snaps here.
There are weird snaps there. Yeah. But yeah, so delve too deep. We'll run one of those.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind if it's cut, but it's one of those things where it's just now that I understand the power of XP, it's like, I was getting real greedy at the end of our last campaign for these.
It does lose a little bit of value because this is only a 4-part campaign and they have a lot more XP. So it's not like 1 XP per mission has much more of a punch than a
Oh,
game
I
card.
see. I see. Yeah,
But it's
I wouldn't be heartbroken if we cut it. That's fine.
it's one of those ones that is tempting because I think part of the reason I'm not sure that the open gates works is that I remembered that you couldn't do Painted World on Delve Too Deep because
Because it goes to the
it
victory display.
sit in the victory display. I remember
Mm.
that being um, I don't know if Slimpy's actually. I don't know if he's actually in chat, or if anybody in chat knows the answer to that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably
Yeah,
not.
if guys, if you know this, so again, Matt's running Safina Rousseau has her the Painted World spell, and so we're just wondering if we can use this on Open Gates, the Mystic spell, if it's placed underneath the character card in the beginning.
Yeah, and I'm sure I can probably go look up. I think actually on ArkhamDB you can go click on that card, and big questions people have asked come up. So that's another way to look at
Okay,
this. I mean,
yeah,
it
yeah.
gets me-
The painted, what was it? The world, painted world.
look up Open Gate first, maybe.
Oh,
Hey,
okay.
no,
Yeah,
actually, no. Maybe looking up Painted World would answer this because probably
yeah,
I'm sure
because
people
it's a specific question
yeah.
for this. So Painted World. Oh, I love how the first one is Painted World versus Delve Too Deep. That was the very first fact.
Yep.
Whenever a card leaves play, any lasting or delayed effects affecting the card while it was in play expire. That includes Painted World being treated as a copy of the card. As soon as the Painted World is played, it ceases to go back a copy. Oh, I see. No. Oh, this isn't just. How does Painted World interact with Crystallizer of Dreams, as they both replace the discard effect? Both effects are replacement effects, and since Painted World's replacement effect is forced, the Crystallizer of Dreams is optional. The force effect would take priority and resolves first. Therefore, Painted World must be removed from the game after it's played and cannot be placed underneath Crystallizer of Dreams. Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
So then, so
Alright, what's the
so
name of the
Painted
other
World,
card? The Open Gates? What is that?
I think it's Open the Gate. Let me double check it.
Open Gate. Alright, let's see if this has any information.
All right, so Premonition is not going to make the cut because I can't Painted World it either. Then I don't think. I guess once you find the answer to that, we'll have to decide because.
Yeah, no one's really talking about it with the Painted World. Oh. Okay, here we go. Somebody wrote something 8 months ago. While Open Gate may sometimes be a dud for the Painted World, is not always a dud. It does not allow you to play a fourth copy, but most games you won't even see a third copy of the card. Painting a gate means that you have 2 gates available now, which in the scenarios where it's important. Wait, hold on. What? Even if you do hit the triple gate limit, any extra Open Gates pitch for Safina's 2 most used stats. Wait, I'm so confused. This person's
Hold on, they're making it Open Gate. The reason they're saying that is because it says group limit 3 in play. So that actually solves that. So what this guy is saying is that you can use the Painted World as gates, but you can't go over 3.
Oh, you can't go over 3.
Because that's written on the card that you can't go over 3.
Because it's myriad.
No, because it's actually written on the card,
group
limit 3 play. Meaning if you and I were both playing purple characters and we both were running 3 copies of Open Gate.
Oh, I see.
I see. 3 of our 6 out there.
Got it.
I think.
Which means I think it's legit. Which means I think you can use it.
What that guy is saying makes it sound like yes, but then because we weren't even looking at that, is it worth running if I can't do the sick combo?
Oh, right. Again, if we get capped at like your physical amount anyway, yeah.
I think this is another one of those cards that's going to be better in 3 or 4 player. You're going to get hugely more value out of it.
Yeah, that's fine.
So I think I'm gonna shove it off this side. I'm almost done here. I'm going to go. There's a bunch of cards that I think I only need to run 1 of. There's some that I feel like I need to run 2 of. And that's going to be where I'm going to have to make some choices here.
Yep.
That's a 1. That's definitely only a 1. I think.
So I think you're cutting somewhere between 6 and 8 cards or something.
Okay, so yeah, this is how I end up doing it, guys.
Yeah.
Is like I'll throw out here, I'll throw too much out, and then I'll have to like scale back.
No, I like it this way. Yeah.
So in that regard, what we're gonna pull is we're just gonna pull quick thinking. I don't have extra pump, so I'm not going to be able to consistently succeed by 2 or more.
Okay.
So that is going to be out.
Okay.
We're just gonna cut fine close now.
Yep.
Or it's too late. Okay, so hold on. You counted. What am I at? 2, 4, 6, 14, 16.
You need to cut 5, right?
I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
I got sidetrack stacking.
Yep.
So, Crystallizer of Dreams, I think is awesome. I don't think I need 2 of them. I'm happy to have just 1 in my deck.
Okay.
Because of how many events I play, I don't need it. I don't need to find it. So that's 1. Things that I don't necessarily need 2 of. Let's see about that first. Intel Report and Small Favor are both cards that
situational, yeah.
They are, well, they do the 2 things we need to do.
Yeah.
But I have to have money to use them.
Right.
I have to have a decent amount of money because they're not just the 2. It's
Right.
like it needs to be 4 damage if I want to do 2.
And what's your money generators? Lone Wolf, Henry, and Emergency Cash. Yeah.
Now I'm going to be getting a really sick money generator later, so she gets this card right here. Let me pull these blue ones back.
Yep.
These green ones. She gets this really sick green card called Hot Streak.
Oh yeah, I know Hot Streak. It costs 5. You get 10. Is that it?
Yeah. There's 2 versions. There's a smaller XP version and then there's a bigger XP version. And I don't remember what they both do.
That's High Roller. Hold on.
Because it's an event.
Oh.
Looking at assets.
Right
There,
here. Yeah.
Hot Streak. So 5 for 10 or 3 for 10.
3 for 10. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. So those cards are going to be fantastic money for her later because if you play those with Painted World, she just gets tons of bucks.
Yeah. That's great.
Sure Gamble is nuts, and on her it's even more nuts. Upgrade
Happy Reveal Chaos Token with a negative modifier. Switch the what? That's so good.
Spoiler alert, guys! I will be probably embracing Sharon's Obel as well. That might be a
Permanent
big
exceptional. When earning experience during the resolution scenario, if you were not defeated during the scenario, you earn 2 additional XP. If you were defeated in that scenario, you are killed.
Yeah.
Dude.
Hey, the ferryman.
Oh my god, dude,
hold on
that's
to
so
his bucks
savage.
for free.
That's
So,
super high risk reward.
Yeah. So that's going to probably be making the cut in there.
Okay, that's amazing, actually.
If I have a lot of money, I can play like Delilah or Lola. But again, their stats wise, and they don't really necessarily do it for me stats wise. But not to get too sidetracked on the upgrading. The point is that I will have more money.
Yeah.
So I think if I'm going to be playing Charon's Obel, I need I'm Out of Here. If I'm going to be playing 2 copies of Rite of Seeking, I think I only need 1 Drawn to the Flame.
Okay. Yeah.
Because again, I can clone.
I'm into that. That's fine.
With my thing, we will go down to. I think I'm going to cut Ritual Candles for now. I don't really feel like I need them all that much, and
Okay.
I'll find a better one-handed thing later.
Is that a hand slot? Yeah. Okay.
It is a hand slot. Spell slot wise, I'm covered. Ally slot wise, I'm covered.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 2 more. Yo, what up, Volps? Thanks for stopping in. We're just doing some deck building for our next campaign.
So then, these are the 4 cards right here that I can trim 2 out. What do I not need 2 of each? All right. So read the signs. I don't think I need two of because again, I'm gonna have Rite of Seeking. I
Right.
still want one. Combat wise, I'm a little weaker with Wither, so I'm gonna keep two Spectral.
Yeah, this two spectral I think you need to keep, which means you can probably get rid of small favor.
No, I think what I'm actually gonna do here is because of Rite of Seeking, I can, and because I'm gonna have these two, I think this will cover my clue
Oh,
gathering.
your clue stuff. Oh, I see. Yep.
Then I keep these because this gives me the combat.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
So the combat you have are
But I
small
will have sneak
favor,
attack and
spectral razor,
backstab
and a
also.
wither.
Yeah. See, the thing about small favor is that it's just money. If I pay money, I kill something.
Yeah.
Both backstab and sneak attack require other situational things. Um, so I think I drop. I'm gonna go one intel report, cutting one.
Okay.
I definitely want two order
Yeah,
protections.
two order protection. So good.
I think you handle this one. It's nice to have one of. I think Astral Travel is really nice to have one of. Storm of Spirits is going to be great.
Yep.
Delve Too Deep.
I mean, we could cut that if we need to.
Wait, do I have two I'm out of here? Did you count two of them? I don't know why I
There
have
was
two
there
here.
was one over here, and then there was one over here, so I just kind of put them
Oh,
together. Okay.
then yeah, no, I don't ever want two of those. Okay.
Yeah. 1,
I'm
2,
at
3,
three.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 18, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32.
3-2. Okay, so I can actually have one more of something.
Yeah.
Um, maybe Intel Report because Intel Report lets me get clue without having to.
Yeah, what's up? Not yet again.
Do anything other than bucks. Or second crystallizer. I
That's
want
up to
the
you, man. That's
majority
your
of my,
baby. That's your baby right here.
it is, but I'm way more excited about Summon Hound.
Okay.
Like this is cool, but Summon Hounds is how okay, so how much of my deck is not events? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 14, so basically
Are these all your events down here? Or
so
yeah.
2/3 of my decks are events. Yeah, they should be. I think I put all my
5, 6, 7. Yep. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, 18 of your deck is events.
Okay. So I'm going
It's
to
like
do
half.
one last thing before I make a choice of what I'm going to add. I'm going to pull up. I'm going to do one last quick pass over my events here, see if there's anything. Like, I feel like there's some key thing I'm forgetting.
Uh-huh.
One last pass. The last thing is I'm going to look at the neutral events. I don't think there's any neutral events I want other than Foxtail's Emergency Cache. I don't think there's anything that's horrendously standing out to me. I'm tempted to throw a second Storm of Spirits in. Actually, I think that's what I'm going to do.
I mean, it's solid. That card's so solid.
It's also the fact that I know that we're going to be dealing with swarming. Let me recall these green ones real fast and just put out the neutrals.
Yep.
Sure, there's
Yeah,
nothing
do your
that
thing.
I'm missing. Emergency Cache and calling in favors. Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So I got the two that mattered to this pick.
All right.
All right. I think I'm feeling pretty good about it. Now I'll ask you, now that you've seen me walk through it. You know, we're doing hybrid. When
Yep.
you compare our two decks, do you feel like I'm covering enough of our bases?
Okay. Yeah, this is the part that I wanted to do as well. Is like when you're talking about fighting, you have a couple withers, a couple storm of spirits, a couple small favors, spectral razors. So it's like 8 right there, plus these things down here. So about 10. So about like a third of your deck is fighting, which is great. As far as clue gathering, 2 Rite of Seeking. It's 1, 2. Intel report 3, 4, 5. Is that it? But Rite of Seeking pops multiple times, so.
Right. Okay. No. Actually, you know, with you pointing that out, maybe I need to throw like a magnifying glass in here. or something else. I have one more hand slot.
You have one more hand slot because the one
Just
hand
saying.
slot's being for the Chthonian stone.
Yeah, no, and this is why I'm glad you stopped and looked at it, because yeah, like my clue gather ratio, it sounds like it's off. So maybe I am heavier combat than I need to be. Maybe I go turn a small favor.
Into an intel report?
Yep. Oh crap.
What happened to it? That's
I
okay.
clicked Control X instead of Control C.
Got
Don't
it.
worry, I took them. I grabbed them from over here.
Yeah.
I'll just.
So 1,
Yeah.
2, yep, 3, 4, 5, 6, yep.
Okay, place these back out. So let's go with.
And then you have like 2, like utility evades. You have a deny existence and delve too deep and astral travel, and you handle this. You have like a bunch of utility here. And then your money generations is fine as long as Henry can pull his weight.
Yeah, and again, my money generation will start getting better
Yeah.
after next mission. So that makes me wonder if I maybe should even run 2 flashlights. I don't know.
What would you toss for a flashlight? Would you toss this like sneak attack? No, that's an event. You want that.
Yeah, Chief Shot's a utility evade. I want to keep that.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know.
I think
Maybe one
us having-
flashlight's fine. I mean,
yeah, I mean, because don't keep in mind that my painted worlds
yeah.
are all either clue gather or damage, as
Yeah.
long as I have them under me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think this looks pretty good.
look,
I think you have all the elements. Stone.
okay. So need to. I think I put one more thing in because I put both the flashlight and the second intel report. So I will cut second intel.
Wait, why do you still have 34? Wait, did I miscount? 1, 2, 3, 4,
I'm
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24, 25, 33. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's pretty good. It seems like most of the bases are covered there. Yeah. And I could always go for like a Spirit of Fame later, so that way my Withers and my Rite of Seekings get better. But yeah. Okay. So, all right. Anybody in chat? I don't know how many of you guys are following along who are interested in this kind of a thing, but what are you guys thinking? I'm seeing how we both have our decks laid out here.
Yep.
And this is going to be, I guess we don't know if this is going to be waking or dreaming side because
Yeah.
hold on a minute.
Yeah. We don't know the campaign, what the story is yet. So I'm assuming that we'll be able to choose.
No, this right here, I'm calling it. Just because I think it'll be more fun based upon what we have going on.
Okay.
This is going to be our dreaming side.
This is our dreaming
These
side?
ones-
Okay.
This is our dreaming side right here.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm into
This
it.
is our dreaming side right here, guys. So one of the risks that I have going on here, which is what I told you, is I don't have pump. But the reason that I don't have pump is I can't have good pump on her.
Yeah, because of the way your
There isn't,
stats are laid out. Yeah.
Right. So basically, like the big decision would come down to: do I want to go and add something like that later?
Right.
Because I could have always done something like the Rosary instead of the Crystallizer of Dreams.
Right.
But we're gonna try this. We're gonna see how it feels. I am a little worried that about hitting those numbers that I need to.
Yeah.
But I can always use my XP to fix some of that. Like Rite of Seeking will get better to XP, a lot better. Wither, I won't be able to pump, so I'm going to have to find other ways to potentially do damage. But I have a lot of damage cheating in here. So, yeah, I really wish that I had a good pump card. But, like, pumping my foot is fine, but not amazing. Pumping my
Your brain.
mind would help me with the Wither portion, but doesn't help me with the other two.
Right. For some reason, my card disappeared, so I had to get it again.
Oh, did you copy it? That's why. Because if you click recall right now, that's going to go away.
Yeah.
That's why I always copy our So like I think if I click recall,
Wait,
it's
hold
just
on.
gonna.
Yeah, yeah. Hit recall. I hit copy.
Okay, where is the?
It's Forgotten Age. Oh, yep. That's exactly what it was. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
So did you copy him? Yeah, that's
Yep.
why. Okay. But yeah, so this is the one potential risk is playing on hard. I'm gonna have to because I don't have a lot of skill cards to pitch either because I have so many events.
Right.
So what I'm gonna need to do is figure out how to get myself some consistent pump for mind or for foot. A lot of my events kind of cheat a little bit. Um, but the one thing that I am seeing is Spectral Razor, Read the Signs.
Yeah.
All of these, I almost feel like I might need Rosary.
Because it's adding your head. Yeah. And what's
And
your head stat? It's
Wizard,
4. It's adding it to your book stat, right?
no, it just replaces it. Spectral Razor and Read the Signs just use your head instead.
Oh, no, no. It's add your value, your head value to your skill value for the fight. So it's adding it to your Spectral Razors. It's adding it to your punch.
Oh, it is.
And
Okay,
then
that's right.
yeah, and read the signs is adding it to your book.
Okay, so I'm getting only two more then.
Yeah.
So I'll be at a base 6.
Yeah. Which isn't terrible.
Well, it's also not great.
Okay.
That means I'm only up 3 against 3 shrouds. 4 shrouds are going to
Yeah.
be tough. Rite of Seeking, it's going to make it harder for me to do damage.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be the last question is instead of going Crystallizer,
You're gonna go Rosary?
I just go for the Rosary. It gives me Mind Soak also, which is,
Yeah.
I mean, what the Crystallizer does is it lets you have cards to pitch. It doesn't let you play them again. You attach events to it. But, oh yeah, you know what? No, Crystallizer is bad. I can't attach Painted World to it, like you said.
Yeah, you can't do Painted World, yeah.
Yeah, okay, we're cutting Crystallizer.
Okay.
Sorry.
You want a Rosary?
Yeah, and I actually want 2 Rosaries. I'm gonna have to cut one more thing.
Okay.
Rosary it's too important to the build I have going on right now to not. So we'll throw this up here, and we will drop one more card. That one card will be. Man.
Yeah, this is now tough. Is it gonna be 12?
Does no, it's not gonna be a Delve, dude.
Okay.
Does Storm of Spirits, the XP version, can I even take it?
I think you can. I think it's a 3. Oh wait, no, you can only go up to 2.
Okay, so we're gonna cut down to 1.
Yeah.
Because I'm only gonna be able to use this at the time when I have my mind set up anyway. Okay, done. That should do it, right?
Yeah, sweet.
Should end up being 37, 38 cards when we add a random weakness. Do you want to grab our random weaknesses right now?
Oh yeah, let's grab our random weaknesses.
Okay, so let's spawn.
Where are
Oh,
they?
you can go
I don't
over
even know where
here,
they
actually.
are on this thing. And I'm sorry
So-
for everybody getting motion sick for me to going around this mod like this.
I'm down to the bottom left.
Oh, okay. I have never used this portion.
These are
Oh, these are the bonded cards.
those are the bonded ones. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay. This
All right.
is where Crystallizer is. Right here.
And
your
the
Unbound
back-
Beast.
Right. Okay. So these are all the weaknesses together. So we can just shuffle them up.
Oh, what about this one? Is all? No.
That's weird. You're right. It does say all.
Yeah.
Why would they put it
Attack.
there? Or an event advanced. Oh, these ones don't go in. These ones become the other ones.
Yeah, there's 35. Yep. If I add up all of these, it's 35.
Okay. All right. So then
That's
that's
yours?
mine.
Oh my god. This is mine. Do we look at them?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Because there's one that you have to know, otherwise it doesn't work.
Oh, sure.
The one where you start with less dollars.
Yeah. Okay, so so not only do I leave my people to die, I also I'm a narcoleptic.
I had that in the campaign, and it was really funny.
Put
It was-
narcolepsy into play in your threat area. You cannot take actions, trigger abilities, or play cards. I have to do an action to wake up and discard it.
Yep.
Force, if you take damage or harm, discard it. Oh my god. That's hilarious.
Yeah, you'll just fall asleep. So I had to have people like come back and wake me up, and it was a good time. It was real funny. And then I got mine is.
Oh wait, so
Morgul.
I can't. Yeah, that's right. I can't take action, so you have to come wake me up.
Yep.
Oh god. All right.
Oh, that sucks.
Okay.
That
campaign mode.
sucks because I don't do investigates with her.
Secretly has a card in your hand. When the game ends or you eliminate the cards in your hand, you go 2 for your experience. After you successfully investigate. Oh my god. So you're gonna have to take, dude. You're gonna have to take this green experience thing just to counteract it. The obol, dude.
Well, I'll just have to use a charge off of like Rite of Seeking on some stupid location just to trigger this.
That's so bad.
Yep.
This is awful. Like this narcolepsy thing too. It's like, why couldn't this be on our next team where we're gonna be specialized? Like, why did it have to be on our hybrid team?
Don't worry, dude. Neither of us have overzealous. I feel great.
Yeah.
Feel
Right.
Great. So again, anybody have any other like comments or anything before we?
Not yet again says that's awesome on our weaknesses. Goggy Gognard says I just ordered Beyond the Threshold expansion for Mansions of Madness. Looking forward to trying out Akachi.
Cool.
Dude, Akachi was I was so happy with Akachi playing last campaign.
Yeah, she's awesome. I love
Yeah.
her. Okay, so do we want to just throw these in like bags and
Yeah. I'm gonna put this in a bag.
clone this bag and all?
Oh, I think I have stuff in that bag when you clone.
Yeah, that's good. I'll just pull this stuff out of my copy.
Yeah,
Of it.
I threw like all the cards that we like put on the table. They're all in there.
Gotcha. All right, so you can hold it together and just hit G, and it'll group it for you.
Oh, really?
Yep, highlight everything.
Oh my god, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. All right, boom. That's in there. I'm gonna save this.
Something. No, that's right. 38 cards is what mine should be. Yours should be 34 or 33.
So Arkham, we're talking Leo. Scenario 1, ready. Boom. Yeah. What do I need to have? Wait, hold on.
33, I believe.
Wait, where did my cards go? Oh, yeah, there's 33. Cool. 33. That was correct. 30 plus weakness plus random weakness plus guard. Yeah. Okay. Let's save this again. Arkham. Leo. Boom. Yes. All right. Cool.
Right on. So that's our dreamer side.
That's Dreamer side.
So what do you want to do now? What's the plan from here? I don't know. It's 8:47 my time.
It's 8:47. I think we can want to do the other two
Sure.
if you got the time.
Yeah, we'll at least start with yours and kind of check where things are at, and then I can.
Yeah, and then we can check time on that. Yeah, for yours. Cool. All right,
Let's
we got Rex Murphy here, and I did the same thing where I pseudo prepped it, but this is less put together than my Leo deck. Let's just say. So we're playing Rex Murphy, the reporter. Matt tells me that he used to be OP and now he's just regular. He has got 6 health, 9 brain health. He's a 3/4/2/3. And so his whole thing is, after I succeed at a skill test by 2 or more while investigating, I can discover a clue at my location. It used to be that you could do that multiple times in a round, but now it's limited to once per round, which makes more sense. And then the star effect is +2, or I can just fail that test to draw 3 cards. So he's all about like pumping up his stuff so he can like succeed, get clues, and then he wants to draw cards so he has more pump to get more clues.
Yep. And so he's also from Dunwich, and all the investigators from Dunwich had special deck building rules we like to call the Fab Five. And we call it the Fab Five because you can take all secret cards and then any other 5 cards total from any other class.
Yeah.
So who's in your Fab Five? Who's in your circle? I don't know if you've already thought about that in
I've
your
already
build.
I've already thought about it, but
Okay.
I'm gonna get to that
Hell
at the
yeah.
end there because this was actually
Okay.
this is the hardest part. The
Yep.
Fab Five for me was the hardest part, and there were so many really cool options, and I actually found some really awesome options in red, which I realized later that I couldn't use because I'm not allowed to use fortune cards. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
there's a card called
Yep.
Lucky that I was like, dude, this is
Yep.
amazing.
Rex is cursed, man. He can't be lucky.
Yeah. Groggy Gardener says, "Is this campaign more difficult as Return to the Path to Carcosa, or is it just a different beast?" Um,
Okay. It is going to be slightly easier because we're not playing a return to. And I'm not going to lie to you, the return to a return to Carcosa, like whenever you do a return to of a campaign, it bumps it up kind of like to the next level or about to the next level. So like for example, if you're playing on normal but you're playing return to something,
yeah.
it kind of bumps it up like halfway, if not a full tier to hard. So this is going to be somewhat harder because we're playing on hard, not normal. But we're not doing return to Dream Eaters because A, it doesn't exist, and B, it's not. So,
Does it not exist because it's more? Is it a more recent campaign or?
yeah, it is the most recent campaign.
Got it.
So yeah, that's why it's like they go back through and do return twos, and they're supposed to be releasing Return to Forgotten Age, which is terrifying because that one is so hard. I'm just scared.
Okay. All right. What is this over here? Oh yeah, this is this these are the cards that didn't make the cut. I'm gonna just quickly throw them over here. They very well will end up making the cut or something after we talk about stuff. This is in like no particular order. Just gonna throw shit here. Oh yeah, this is like part of the Fab 5 stuff. Slow down here. Oh, maybe some of these are from my Leo poll. Whoops.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll probably mostly be obvious.
Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
one of us needs to make a Lola deck one day. Like, just sit down and make a Lola deck.
A Lola deck?
And yeah, the neutral investigator, it's gonna be tough.
All right. All right. So I threw away. So this is basically all the cards. On the left side here is the one that's like in some formulation of a deck. All these other cards on the right here were like stuff I just threw out and was considering, but didn't make it into the deck yet. All right. So this set of team, we were thinking that instead of doing hybrids, because we did it in Carcosa and we made one team a hybrid, that I was going to be more of a clue gathering specialist here. And so with my stats at 5, 4, 2, 3, I'm not going to be doing any fighting. I was going to do a lot of investigating and then probably evading. I like Brex because he's a 3 brain, so when those bad cards come, I can deal with that test a little better than Winifred in the last campaign, who had like a 1 brain. I realize like it's important just to have brain for those, even if you're not doing like mind other things in your deck. But we are going to his main card is this Search for the Truth, which I can see kind of whiffing sometimes, but I can draw X cards where X is the number of clues on Rex to a maximum of 5. So there's probably going to be times where I get this maybe early and it just sits in my hand dead, or I'm using the clues to advance agendas, and then I don't know. I could see it whiffing, but I could also see it being really great. And then Rex's curse is put the curse into your play in your threat area. I actually think this is pretty savage. When you would succeed at a skill test, return the revealed chaos token to the back and reveal a new chaos token. If this effect causes you to fail, you shuffle this curse back into your deck, so it just comes back again at some point. The lucky part about here is limit it once per test, so if I succeed twice in a row, it just remains, and I pass the test. And if I fail, it just goes back in my deck. So it kind of just it just keeps coming back to haunt me.
So obnoxious.
Yeah. So all right. So I have so as an investigator, I'm starting off with a couple different allies here. I may or may not want to get charisma later. But when I was looking at allies, I thought Dr. Millen Christopher was awesome because it gives me +1 book, and it also gives me money.
Before you move on, he's actually also been tabooed and mutated.
What?
Sorry, because he was the most broken.
Gosh.
So his mutation is he's exactly like Rex. It's once per turn. You basically exhaust him once you get the buff.
Oh, okay. That's still okay, I think.
Yeah. I'll grab the mutated.
He's kind of pricey now.
Yes, he is, but he was totally worth it. I'll find you the mutated one.
Way to take the jelly out of my donut right at the get go, dude. All right, so no, but so Dr. Millen Christopher. Oh, that's the okay. Yeah, let's get rid of the bad one. Let's get him in here. Okay. I still think he's all right. He gives me +1 for the. Why can't I get my? There you go. I just have to exhaust him, and then he gets resources. Okay. And then I was thinking about laboratory assistant, and I'm not exactly sure, but I was thinking in my hand, if I'm going to be trying to commit cards to pass skill tests above 2, I might want a higher hand size, and I might want draw. So that's why she's in it, but I'm not completely tied to her. That was just sort of like my thinking. And then to go along with sort of card draw, I have Old Book of Lore as a hand slot. So this lets me exhaust it and then search top 3 cards of my deck, draw it, and then shuffle my deck. So I was thinking maybe like consistent draw here, and then magnifying glass just because it's fast. Get +1 while investigating. If I upgrade it, it becomes like 0 cost, and then it gets bounced back to my hand, I think. And then I threw in another asset for field work, so I could use this for a foot test as a skill, but I could also just put it out there and say, and it says when I move to a new location, if that location has a clue, I can exhaust this and get a +2 skill value on my next test. So like I thought anything that was going to pump up my skill test values was going to be good. The other thing I was considering in this spot was this, which is probably what you're going to tell me to put in, because it's pump.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to put this one over here on the side, knowing that this is probably what's coming in.
This card's also incredible. Like honestly, I think both are probably good if you can fit them.
And then I think Deduction's probably the most standard Seeker card. I think it probably has 2 of in every Seeker deck, I'm guessing.
Pretty wild,
yeah. So that's an auto in. Inquiring Mind I thought was probably an auto in too. Assuming there's a clue at my location, I could just get 3 question marks. And then I'm pumping up with Perception and then Unexpected Courage. Pretty standard. These ones over here, these 6, I'm kind of like, it was hard for me to choose what to put here. I put Preposterous Sketches in. I know that there's like, if there's only a clue in my location, I can play it, but this is just drawing cards so I can commit cards sort of thing. And then Crack the Case was my my money generator. So if I get the last clue at a location and it's a high Shroud value, I get money for the Shroud value at that location. So, and that's a fast action. Mind over Matter. So since I don't have good sort of fight and other stats, this was just sort of like use my book stat instead of other stuff. Like if I have to get in through something hairy or some sort of weird test through Mind over Matter. And then Shortcut, because this is just the jam. It's so good.
Yeah. Oh, shortcuts.
And then this is where the Fab 5 comes in, and this was really hard. Okay, and so I originally wanted 2 evasive, but now that got tabooed. The Lucky Cigarette Case is the one I'm not completely tied to. I was just like, do I need the card draw? Do I not? I was actually considering Burglary as well in this slot, but I put 2 You Handle this one. This is straight from like Winifred's deck. Last campaign, because if I get a monster on me, and I can't deal with that. I was going to give it to you, but it may not be necessary if we're always like hanging out together.
Yeah, we are.
So
We'll be blown out. So
yeah, so that's why I was like, I don't know. And then dodge was also like one of those things where it's just like cancel an attack, just in case it happens. But then
yeah.
again, it's like it feels like there's a lot more strong stuff. I did consider maybe double ward of protection.
Doesn't he have
Also,
like insanity? Yeah, he has 9. Sure.
yeah, I was thinking about double ward of protection. I was actually thinking opportunist could be interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be pumping up. I thought daring maneuver in the same way could be interesting because it just synergizes with what I'm trying to do. And then there's like all of these other cards that are sort of just utility. Like, do I just grab a dynamite blast just to grab it, kind of thing? Do I grab a watch this if I think I'm going to need to pump and get money? Burglary to get money, decoy to evade.
Okay, so
Live and Learn was also an interesting one, and then of course like the Delve Too Deep.
yes, the Delve Too Deep. both go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's there's a lot of interesting things here.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that most of your core is really good, and unfortunately, when you're doing like a standard seeker, especially like Rex, there's a lot of stuff that's almost auto.
Yeah.
The things that I potentially would bring into question, I'll just tap them for you.
Okay.
I'll tell you why, and then do with it.
Okay.
Yep. These are all for the reasons you said. Okay. So the problem with Laboratory Assistant is, of course, you're already potentially running Milan.
Yeah.
But the issue is, like, with Laboratory Assistant is that, like, there is an amazing new set of yellow cards that's all about drawing a bunch of cards and having a big hand size, and it's really cool. Like, it requires it to kind of, like, synergize together. The thing about this girl is that she gives you some soak, but she gives you the wrong kind of soak.
Yeah.
You already have a ton of money.
I know. I wanted physical soak. Yeah, I felt that way too.
Right. So I think there's just, if you want to draw cards, I just think there's better ways to draw cards than her, who you literally can't play if you already have Milan out.
Yeah. So, I was already on the fence about her, so that makes sense.
I think Preposterous Sketches does that for you. So I think that's why that card's good. And it's already synergizing with Inquiring Mind because you want to be in a place where those things can happen together.
Yep.
Inquiring Mind's tough because in some ways it's like, yes, this you should always play, but other times you'll just hit this point in the game where like you can't play it. And I find myself putting it down to 1 sometimes because of that. But usually it's after I'm bringing in XP cards. The old Book of Lore is interesting, and this is not necessarily like the bad thing, but like you can use it on both me and you. The trouble is like he has only a 4. He's not like one of the kings of 5. You know, like
yeah. 5 is the best. Yeah.
So like you're gonna want to try to have both your magnifying, which obviously the Book of Lore can help you with, but like you can't have all. You only have 2 hands.
Right.
So the Book of Lore is amazing, and I don't think there's anything wrong for it. And you could probably run both.
Yeah.
But ultimately, you'll want 2
This is double magnifast is where I really want to be. Yeah.
Unless you wanted to go with like something like the Hawkeye folding,
like a tarot card later, or.
I think a tarot card you want to stack with it too because we're playing hard. But the Hawkeye. Wait, did you play Hawkeye folding camera? No. Okay, here.
So Hawkeye folding camera is over here on the side. It was under consideration. Yeah.
Yeah, that is just fine instead of magnifying glass also because again you're paying $1 more and then you're getting your mind pumped and your book.
Yeah.
And you have like 10 sanity, which is bananas. So basically, I think you want to be spending your hand slots on book. Now, again, you can still play all of this, and then but I think that's going to be probably part of the problem.
Would you think instead of the Book of Lore throwing in at least 1 Hawkeye, just replacing with just like at least 1 Hawkeye camera?
And then the thing about Hawkeye that's kind of obnoxious is you want it early because
that's why it didn't make my cut because I was like,
how
often am I gonna be able to get to this?
Yes, yes. So you might be at a point where I can't remember what you could also do something like fingerprint kit,
Yeah, that was also on my list as well.
but fingerprint kit actually is kind of redundant for you because like if you succeed by two and you're doing fingerprint kit, then you clear three clues. But since we're playing two player, there's gonna be a lot of times where maybe there are
That
three.
is why I probably would have taken it if it cost less too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I can't remember if there's any good XP cards that you eventually might want to replace. It might be one of those things too, where you throw all that in and then you find like a better book asset for your hand slot.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of really cool cards, like book cards, but I mean hand slots, but they then you lose your magnifying glasses, which hurts because the thing about Rex is like you you want to be even higher than usual because like
Yeah.
basically you have to look at every shroud value as almost two higher than you even think it is because
Right.
you want to succeed by two to get the extra clue. So like you need more book pump
Okay.
than anything else, which is kind of
Yeah.
obnoxious.
Like
It's just
like would I want to consider something like this encyclopedia or
well, the problem with the encyclopedia is you're spending an action then, but
oh,
it's
just okay.
in
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but
That's true.
now that you can only do it once per phase, his ability once per phase, it's not terrible. So you could give yourself first action, give yourself plus two book for the rest of the turn. Um, I don't know. I like
Yeah.
this is like you want this card,
This is gonna be my first upgrade, I think.
and I'm genuinely sorry, but I have one more piece of bad news.
Okay.
This was the most broken card in the game, and it has now cost 5 more XP. So it costs 8 XP to buy it.
Ah, you know
I
what?
know.
Like this
Rex,
is
I
changing
told you Rex.
my whole game plan.
Rex was busted. Like basically the clue gatherers could he was just so good that like he could handle all the clue on his own and everyone else would just have an eternity to do whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
But yeah, higher ed is the one card that more than any other deserves to be like XP because that
Ugh.
card
I was going to
is
say, even at 8 XP, it's probably still worth getting it.
yeah,
It's
it
so
is
good. Spend one
very
resource, get $2. It's so good.
yeah, it is. And so if you know you want to go for that, then go making sure you have plenty of card draw in your deck's important so you can be over
Yeah.
that threshold.
I do.
Um,
I do want this higher education. Okay.
Yeah, it is still very good, but it just costs you like an entire mission's worth of XP or
Yeah.
more sometimes. So, okay, so over here, so the old book of lore, like if anything, I might even consider like going and putting in more book pump cards into your hands just so you can get them more consistently. I don't know. It's not for sure. I think that having two field works is great because if you get both of them out, you can use both of them. They're not
Yeah,
unique.
I'm really into fieldwork, yeah.
Yeah. And I think like running, I mean, I don't know if you need to run two, but one hyper awareness you'll probably be happy about.
Okay.
The mind over matter I think is not worth running for you because your foot, so you're probably you could use your book to fight,
Yeah.
but your foot actually already is only one lower than it.
Right.
So you're not getting a huge amount of benefit. So if anything, if you wanted to consider the role of helping out another way, I would do like I've got a plan over mind over matter if you wanted to go and have a card devoted to like hurting things.
Yeah.
Either that or you take a card that just like auto evades, like I know that's what Elusive originally did. But you could go find some other green cards that like
Right.
help you out in some other way.
Okay. Yeah.
It just doesn't synergize with like the stats you already have.
Yeah.
So
No,
I think
that's totally legit. I'm into that.
Okay. Trying to think of like what else. Like, because I feel like there's some other really good Fab Five options for Rex. Like that I'm just not thinking of right now.
Yeah.
Because there's some things that can basically. So your magnifying glass also remember it's only +1 book while investigating. So there are other times where like if you'd want the book, you wouldn't have it.
Oh, right.
Like I've got a plan, you wouldn't be able to use that pump for magnifying glass
No.
because it's your book stat.
Yeah. I mean, I really wish elusive wasn't tabooed, man. That makes me so.
Well, taboo you can still take it. It's just not. It'd be after mission 1. I think it's 3 XP.
Yeah, it's 3 XP. I can take it later.
Yeah, it is.
Oh wait, no, I
Well,
can't
no, you can.
because I can only take up to level. Oh wait, no, I can only do
Okay,
level
so
zeros.
technically it is a level 0 card. This is the thing that's weird. Okay? When they changed these cards, they didn't change their experience level. They just add an experience cost. And I know that sounds like nitpicking, but it's not. So like here's the new taboo, elusive taboo right here. So if you look at it and you go look at how many pips it has 0 pips. It is still a
Oh,
level 0
so
card.
as long as I have 2 experience to spend, I can put it in the deck.
Yes.
Yeah.
But actually the way that he works, you only get to put the 5 level 0 cards in.
In the beginning.
This is from deck building. No, I guess technically you could pay. No, yeah, you should still be able to do it because it's still up to 5 level 0 cards, and so you wouldn't be able to put it in at first. You have no XP, but you would be able to put it in later.
Yeah.
So you could upgrade to it because it is a 0 XP card.
Got it. Okay.
If you wanted to.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I'm gonna be saving for. Higher education, but it's good to know that I can pick that up.
higher ed is it's so expensive. So that kind of like would lead to is there any other like cards from any other color that could give you passive book, could give you passive card draw if you're wanting to go for higher ed or book. So I'm like looking at blue. I don't think there's anything from blue.
No, blue's like a lot of pumping a fist.
Right, red here. Let's see. Red is the one that I think might be. There are some passive reds. There's like newspaper. That's a hand slot.
Yeah, and newspaper is only if you have no clues.
Right, and so that one is kind of a problem there. Can't do anything that has the word fortunate, and I know that a lot of red cards are fortune based because they're the lucky.
Well, there's also there are cards out there that don't necessarily pump my book, but they minus the shroud.
Okay. Yeah.
As well, right?
Right. And red has some of those. So you had like the improvised or whatever it was the saw it. Winging
Yeah,
it.
winging it. Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Yeah.
So there is that. But that's like I mean it's a 2-time use card.
I don't know. It just feels like it doesn't have like if I'm talking about like Fab 5, it's got to like have like impact. Like I feel like water protection if I wanted to put that in the deck would have like impact.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Whereas if I put winging it, it's sort of like like
yeah. Yeah, it doesn't feel like you want to make sure your Fab 5 is big. And so on that, by the way, instead of Lucky Cigarette Case, I mean, I get why you're doing Lucky Cigarette Case because you want to pass by 2 already, but you could always do like Rabbit's Foot down here in the red.
In red. Yeah, I did
so
see
it's like
that
when
as well.
you fail, you draw a card. So I mean, I don't know. It's hard to know if like
right
how if you're going to be more likely to succeed or fail. That is hard on this one. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, it's rough because it's like between Rabbit's Foot and Live and Learn, right? I thought those two were super interesting, but it's just like, do I want to count on failing? Seems kind of like a weird mechanic,
betting
right?
against yourself.
Yeah, it's like let me bet against myself and then be awesome the next turn. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, I get that. No, that makes sense. That's probably a reason to not.
Yeah. So that's why, like, instead of Live and Learn, something like Opportunist over here feels a little bit better to me because it's like, okay, it's doing what I want to do, right? Like making me succeed by a lot, and then this comes back to my hand. But the chances of me succeeding by 3, it's already hard to succeed by 2, and so that's why I'm like, it's probably never going to happen for me.
if Opportunist was 2 question marks, I would consider it, but I've never been able to justify Opportunist because there's already plenty of good cards that have 1 question mark on them, and just have the chance of getting this back if you didn't need it in the first place just always felt too gross for me.
Yeah.
If it was 2 question marks, I would get it.
Yeah,
totally get it. But it's So I'm trying to see if anything else. I'm trying to see like what other people are even doing for their Fab Five with him.
Yeah.
So scavenging would let you return something, but I don't know why
Yeah,
you'd
it
want to do
turns
that. Saint,
an item, I think, a level 0 item.
oh, oh, Saint Hubert's Key seems kind of redundant, but okay, that could be how you get another book though. That
St.
would be how
Hubert's
you got.
Key?
Yeah, Saint Hubert's Key would give you a book within your next slot.
Oh, it gives me a head, it gives me a book, and -2 sanity. And if I
Yeah,
was
but it
going to
does
be defeated by horror, then discard it.
right. So basically, it doesn't really give you -2. It temporarily gives you -2, and then heals that back
Yeah,
if you get up to that point.
that's kind of
So,
cool.
but it's, right, that would be another permanent book in your next slot. I think that actually makes sense. Um, oh, quick thinking actually. So you want to talk about something straight up better than opportunist? Quick thinking, great, because it's one question mark icon, and if you succeed by two, then you get
Yeah.
another action. So I think just in comparison,
Yeah.
trying to see what
I
else.
was like, I do love quick thinking. I think it's so great.
Yep. Um, that was a burglary. Burglary, yeah. If you wanted to go and generate money, like you said, it's like basically, do you want to spend an action to gain $3? So it's
Yeah.
not bad. It's not amazing. It's somewhere in the middle. Um, yeah, there aren't a lot of cards that just like blow your mind with him. Um, Delve Too Deep is one, somebody's looking at.
Yeah.
Oh, one copy of Lone Wolf or Lone Wolf, if you want to get money generation, that's another great
Yeah, but
option.
am I going to be hanging out by myself a lot?
I think you will be. I don't think we'll always be on the same space.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, and here's another thing that's kind of cool with it is like even if we are on the same space, if I go first and move off the space before your starts,
Oh, that's true.
so
Yeah, if I go
I think
second, yeah.
using like one Fab Five on it is good.
Yeah, because when we're
Even
talking about money generation, I don't even have emergency cash in here, so I have
yeah,
like no money generation. I don't think.
a lone wolf or two would be good, I think, for you. And you can pitch it for foot, which you being able to pitch it for foot is going to be good for both of us because my
Yeah,
character is going to
yeah,
be
I'm
really
okay with
high.
that.
Um, deny existence. Somebody's bringing up. I mean, ward of protection is just so hard. Ward of protection is so good on him because he has so much mind, and like, I mean, you've seen how important it is to be able to counter certain cards. Like, it really does feel like ward of protection is.
Yeah, water protection is phenomenal. Like, and yeah, and that's the kind of card that's just like that's a great thing to bring in that has like high impact.
Yep, yep.
So
Oh,
maybe two
somebody
water
ran.
protections, the St. Hubert's Key, and a couple lone wolves, and call it a day on that on the Fab
Yeah.
Five.
Somebody did something interesting that I will throw out there. Somebody ran 3 open gates with him. I don't know if that's the right choice,
Oh,
but
that's
that card we were talking about
that's
before.
that is, but I'm here. I'm here for those crazy plays, Matt. I'm here for that. If I
And
do a
that's why
double water protection, 3 open gates.
Purple Rex.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean, it would.
purple Rex is
You're going to have the card draw to maybe find if you're going to be doing some extra card draw and you can find the extra open gates, then that could be that could be kind of cool and different and give us some like weird mobility. I mean, it's interesting, it's different. I think it could be cool. I didn't even think of it. I'm just kind of going down the list of Rex decks that are on here to see random stuff people have thrown in, and none of them. I mean, I'm just looking at what's kind of coming up, and
that's funny, dude. Um, that is really funny.
it could be cool.
Where's the open gate? Let's recall this.
Purple. Um,
Yeah, yeah, open gate. That is super funny, dude. That's
yeah,
hilarious. Like I'm just like this mover, dude.
yeah,
I
because
just
you'll
like
have
make
that
gates and I shortcut us through places.
shortcut, and then you could get Pathfinder later
Yeah,
if
it's
you
like,
wanted.
dude, I'm gonna yeah. Pathfinder is just
So,
the jam later.
yeah,
Oof, that's interesting.
that is. So you could do like one Saint Hubert's, one Lone Wolf, 3 open gates. Oh yeah, but then Ward of
No,
Protection still gets.
I want the double ward. I think of all the things, I think double ward is important.
Okay, okay. I mean, like double Ward, one Saint Hubert's, 2 Lone Wolves, or two of each of these is probably like more. solid standard, but Open Gate's really
I know Open
interesting.
Gate's really funny.
So I either way, I mean, that could be awesome.
I actually no. I think I'm gonna do Double Lone Wolf Hubert's Key, but Open Gate is really funny, dude.
It is a really cool idea. I'll have to keep that in mind for characters that can like
Yeah.
access purple cards, but have some like weird crap going on.
Okay, so that's my Fab Five. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I can do so 26. So I have 4 cards. I'm not including Book of Lore here.
Okay. I mean, do you want to go for like?
I mean, I can put emergency cash in.
Yeah, that's
so
not
I
bad.
have something.
Well, you
don't
do
have
have
any.
you have cracked the case and lone wolf. So you do have four.
Oh yeah,
lone
I've cracked the
generators.
case. I've cracked the case.
Crack the case is incredible. Now, I mean, I don't think having both is necessarily bad, but like,
Yeah.
if you, no, okay. If
Oh
you're
yeah,
not
and the
gonna-
other one I was thinking about was Grizzly Totem as well. But if I have St. Hubert's Key, I don't want to be competing on that
yeah,
slot.
I don't want that.
Um,
I mean, you could go like lone wolf, two St. Hubert's keys. I think that like, I don't know which would you rather have sooner? Would you rather?
I would
have
rather have the same Hubert's Key.
Okay, then yeah, go for that.
Yeah.
Hand slot wise, I mean, you could just stick with the 2 hand slots. You don't have any spell slots. Not that there's necessarily a lot of spells, but that is something that Fab Five could cover. There are a couple yellow spells, I think, but they might be XP. The last thing you could do that yellow has access to that's uniquely yellow is they have all those cards that you probably didn't look at much because it was probably too confusing, too much of a headache.
Oh,
They
are
have
you
things
talking about like a strange whatever solution and archaic glyphs and all that stuff?
Dream Diary. So Dream Diary, if you look at it here,
Yeah.
so now go look at it here.
Are they in your bonded cards or are you in the?
Go to the
they're
far
in
right
the assets. Got it.
You turn them into these things. There's these 3 different versions, and you can pick one up.
Right. Well, this one is they're all the same.
No, they're not.
Search your bonded cards for Essence of a Dream. It says.
Right, but look at you use them differently. So while at your location for Shroud, Essence of the Dream gains an extra 2.
Oh, I see.
While you're engaged with an enemy, it gains 2. While there's 8 cards in your hand, it gains. So again, like maybe it's not necessarily that one, but you also have something like Ancient Stone. You identified the stone, and then identifying the stone lets you turn it into one of these over here.
When you draw no cards, spend that many secrets, heal that much horror. When you deal with any cards, you use. Okay, interesting.
And then you have all
and
the
then
strange.
There's this one, the Strange Solution. Yeah. Evade with a base skill of 6. Fight with a base skill of 6. This attack deals 2 damage. Heal 2 damage with Investigator location, and spend a supply and exhaust Strange Solution. Choose Investigator location. Draw 2. Oh, wow. The
So those are all.
Oof.
And then lastly would be the archaic glyphs.
Where
Those would be the last one up here in the right.
Okay, so far the Strange Solution is actually the most exciting of the 3. Spend 1 charge. It has 3 charges. Investigate for every 2 points you succeed by. Additional clue. That's kind of like my passive. Spend 1 charge. Investigate. If you succeed, you may put an asset with a printed cost X or lower into play. X is not you succeeded by. That's going to be tough. Investigate. If you succeed, you may automatically evade the engaged enemy action. That one's the best one for me.
So give you more evade.
Yeah,
And
so this archaic glyphs evade, or this strange solution evade, or this strange solution resources draw a card. And then this one has the double book as well.
It's tough. I mean, those are all just things to think about. Like,
yeah, I think the oof. What is the okay, hold on. Let's go back over here and what was the thing to proc that?
So archaic glyphs takes if this is at all relevant, archaic glyphs takes a spell slot, whereas the Dream Diary takes a hand, the ancient stone takes a hand. Strange Solution doesn't take anything.
It's just an asset.
Yep.
I like that. That's just an asset. Okay, so archaic glyphs to actually get that to pop. Discard a card. I take an action to discard a card with at least one book skill icon from my hand. Place a resource on archaic glyphs from the token pool as a secret. After the third secret is placed on archaic glyphs, discard it, gain $5, and then record in the campaign that you've translated the glyphs. Okay, so basically that's sort of like a, as we're going on, and if I have things to pitch to this, and I'm just like wasting actions, I can sort of pitch this to get to the glyphs. And the Strange Solution. Where was that?
Strange Solution is. Let me think about it.
An asset?
Trying to remember. It came all the way back out in Dunwich Legacy, and none of us have actually used it. Oh, there it is.
Oh, Strange Solution, right there. It's right next to it. So this one is test 4 book. If you succeed, discard Strange Solution and draw 2 cards. Record in a camp line that you've identified a solution. So Strange Solution is an easier one to possibly do.
Yeah, it's the one. So it doesn't take up a slot. It has kind of like the lowest impact. It only gets 3 charges, but it is very easy to do. It costs $1. So it's one of those that's worth looking at. The last thing that, before you make a choice, is look at this card here.
Shrewd Analysis, permanent, limit 1 per deck. Oh, okay. It's permanent, but it has no cost. Okay. Anytime you upgrade a card with an unidentified or untranslated subtitle, you may upgrade a second copy at no experience cost. Awesome. If you do, the 2 upgraded versions they're chosen at random.
So what this means is that it's like the purple arcane
research.
Arcane research. So you don't have to pay anything. It doesn't take up a deck slot.
Yeah.
You just get it. But
I don't know which one I'm going to get, though.
Right, exactly. So if you like... And I think all the Strange Solutions are actually relatively decent for you, because 6 evade would potentially give you the ability to evade something while I'm doing something else.
Yeah, it's actually not that bad. Even if I get the fight one, then I can hold my own. Yeah,
you'd be able to kill something holding your own.
Yeah.
Healing 2 damage could actually be huge, because you only start with 5 health.
Yeah.
And the person I play probably won't need that, but like you could. And then lastly, 2 cards and 2 resources and a card are great.
Yeah.
So, and then you're only paying 4 XP.
Yeah.
Like, that's something to think about. Like it's interesting.
Dude, the solution's in.
The solution made the cut.
I mean, I love these weird things, man. I like
it. That's what I pointed out. Like
I'm into this, and I'm gonna grab this shrewd analysis too, because it's happening.
And actually, let me check what for supply. There is actually a card that can recharge supply. Let me put these away.
3, 4, 5, 6.
I think.
22, 27. So I need 3 more. As Mighty Games, what up, says they're all decent cards, but I don't know how any of them are going to defend a train. That's true. They're not on the monster train.
Monster rules.
Yeah. Dude, I'm actually really into this Strange Solution. This is going to be so funny, dude.
I really like that mechanic of purple. I think it's really neat.
This is going to be funny because it's going to be like, we're going to like roll randomly. I'm going to get some like whatever thing.
That one's charges. These ones are supply. Okay, never mind. That doesn't work. There is a character that can reload supply. I think it's either the green or blue. Is it the Venture? Is it the blue Venture?
Venture is ammo, but it might be ammo and supply.
I think here.
Recall that. Is it? So 1 supply or ammo.
So technically, you could. I mean, that's getting kind of weird because
I'm not doing this, dude. I'm not getting this Venture, dude. He's like he's not cool enough looking.
Yeah. Fair enough.
To take him, dude.
I mean, I think that something like running, working a hunch, you're never going to be sad about. Even with your ability, you're going to be able to either pitch it for two
Yeah,
books, get a clue.
that's true.
Eureka's solid. Um, that you don't need too much. This could be more combat. This, I don't know how many practice skills you're
It's
running.
really only deduction and perception, and that's why I
And
didn't put
yes,
it in. But sometimes like when your deck is thin and you know that you like have a deduction or perception, it's like worth doing because you're just like, okay, well, I know I'm going to pull a deduction.
yeah, yeah. You're gonna likely pull it. No, and you're not wrong.
Yeah.
One other thing that's actually really interesting with him is actually the way he interacts with seeking answers, because you can seeking answers a location with like one clue next to you and one left on your location, and as long as you succeed by two, you take one off the location next to you and one off your current location, because his ability takes off your current location, not the one next to you. So
All
you can
right.
like set it up. So it is really cool with him. Um, Lastly, logical reason nuts because that handles frozen in fear. If say I'm running a guy with two mind,
Yeah.
I'm just letting you know, and it blows. And there are times when there are terror cards that can be gotten rid of. So logical reasoning can help, but that card would be more for babysitting me than for helping you necessarily.
Yeah.
So those are all reasons. Just looking at the cards you had over to the
All
side,
right.
could all be good.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. All right, so you've convinced me to ditch these books. I'm not convinced enough to put in the Hawkeye. Um,
Okay. Yeah, don't need
so
another.
I might put in. Maybe I'll put a double working the hunch in, and either Eureka or logical reasoning.
Can you? What, you have 4 slots left?
I have 3 slots left. I can put one
Okay.
card in now.
If you're gonna do only one card, I'd probably do logical reasoning because that could make a difference for either of us, um, especially for me.
Oh wait,
And
actually it's 2 cards. Hold on, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Oh yeah, so it's just one more. Yeah.
okay, the one of I would say logical reasoning
Yeah.
because that's basically a card to babysit me. There's gonna be a time where I might have a bad terror on me, or my horror threshold's only gonna be 5.
Yeah.
So logical reasoning could be,
Okay. Yeah, I'm totally down with that because yeah. All right. I
yeah, it
think
could help.
I mean
Um,
the other thing was is like if I wanted to get the second hyper awareness in, but
Yeah, I don't think you need like a second one terribly. I think
yeah.
that most of the time your field work will do the job, and once you find one, you'll be able to use it when you need.
Yeah.
Um, Although I mean, like I don't know, two wouldn't hurt. Like it's I don't know money wise if you have the ability to funnel it. Like there, it's not. Yeah, I mean there'd be nothing wrong with going for two of
Yeah.
hyper
I
awareness.
think I would yeah. The utility of logical reasoning is actually quite nice.
It is a great card. It has two mind to pitch on it, and it could actually save me
Yeah.
a lot of problems
Yeah.
potentially.
Because it's like inquiring mind I might now be able to pitch to you, then it's the usual I only have unexpected courage kind of thing. um,
Yeah, right.
that has that has 2 mind, because the other ones are just like 1 mind. Okay, I think this
Sure.
might be it. I'm actually really pumped about Strange Solution.
Yeah,
um,
it'll be cool.
yeah, I think this is good. Cool.
Right on, right on. Yeah,
All
and I
right,
think same
how
here.
are you feeling? I think that was a little bit long on my end, so I don't know if you want to trudge through doing a deck yourself.
Um, I mean, we can always. Yeah, I mean, I can always do it off camera. I don't know what time it is. Yeah, 9:30. Yeah, it'll probably because I don't have a base to work off of. It might take me a little longer. I mean, I know what I'm doing, and I guess what I can do is I can just kind of quickly give people like an overview of it,
Yeah,
the characters that I'm
yeah,
going to play.
we can just talk about the character and not necessarily have to go through the build.
Yeah, I already know a lot of what it is that I'm doing with him. Um, so the character that I'm going to be playing is Silas Marsh.
Silas Marsh. All right,
He
the sailor.
he will technically be coming out in the Innsmouth box. I love him. I played him before in a campaign a while back. Um, there's some new stuff that has come out It's going to be really cool for him, and because the way that he works with um, his action cards or with skill cards is really neat. So like with him, you really want to play a lot of skill cards, as
Yeah.
you can see. Um, and they actually created this whole suite of 1 XP red cards that I'll just put up over here because I'll be going for them. Um, they're actually really good with him. Where is it? Let's see what it's called. They are 1 XP. Why am I not seeing them? And the way, they're skill cards. That's why they're skill cards. So you put them in, and that's the whole point. So the way these cards work is, I'll just pull the 3 of them because their art's awesome, their theme's awesome. They're things that I'm going to be going for later. But in particular, the foot and the punch version, because those are my 2 good ones. But I still probably will even consider running sharp vision. Maybe.
It gains double fist in the text. If this test is successful by 2 or more, this attack deals 2 damage. That's amazing. If this test is successful by 2 or more, you automatically evade another enemy. That's awesome. And while sharp vision is committed during a basic investigating action against 2 buck, additional clue. Yeah, these are great. These are awesome.
So I can pitch that to you.
Yeah. So you pitch this, and then return it to your hand. Wait, after you reveal chaos token during the skill test you're performing, return a skill committed to your test. So you can pitch this, put it back in your hand, pitch it again later.
Right.
And then so even if it's in your discard pile, if you get a star, you get to bring it back and pitch it. That's exactly. So good.
So I put it in, and if I'm not succeeding by 2 or more, I just return it to my hand.
Yeah.
If I am, then I can choose to leave it. But he's just really good because he like lets you pad your numbers a lot. His special cards, so these are the replacement cards because the real ones aren't out yet.
Yeah.
So this is what that I run for now. The way replacement actually works, like when his other ones come out, you can put both sets in. You can run all 4 if you want.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that's the way the replacement rule works. So like, because I guess they feel that they balance each other out enough that they're fine with it. But so a lot of what I'm doing with him is going to be, I mean, I'm fighty and punchy. So like, obviously that's going to be pretty straightforward.
Yep.
However, what he's special about is that in his deck building rules, he can include any innate card, level 0 to 2. So there's a lot of good innate cards.
Oh, okay.
On the list, like for example, pull them up here. So like, there's some really cool purple ones. Guardian ones. There's this card called Daring. Firing Presence Intrepid. Oh, that's why that stack was in there. Okay, I found an extra stack in his box, and I wasn't sure why. I got rid of it thinking we'd put it in there. So I think it was just a stack of all the innate cards.
Oh, okay. It was just organized. Okay, got it.
Yeah. But the whole point is there's some cool rogue ones. There's some cool, like Seeker has the Curiosity. I probably wouldn't run that. Cunning. Eureka. So actually Eureka is an innate card, so I could actually run Eureka with him if I wanted to. So it's going to be kind of hard to pick exactly how many of those other weird ones, but there's 1 or 2. They're going to be awesome. The main thing is I guess I'll show you more kind of like the upgrade path-wise. Let me see. So this card right here is absolutely bananas with him.
Okay. So limit 1 ammo on the bows. Action, spend an ammo fight. It uses your foot instead of your fist. You get +2 foot and deal +2 damage. Oh, but then you have to reload it.
Yeah, so you're dealing 3 damage per shot.
Yeah.
But you have to reload. So that card's fantastic. Let me see some of the other stuff that I like to use with him. Let me see as far as like I'll pull up like the red list because you end up running like a ton of skills. So able-bodied, he is sorry, I'm over on the left now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So able-bodied is amazing. Not without a fight is amazing. Last Chance, I probably won't run because it gets worse if you have more cards in your
Yeah,
hand.
yeah, yeah.
Um, Rise the Occasion is actually really solid with him because the this version you can only commit it to a skill test if it's too higher than your base stat. So you can take it to use on his mind and book tests.
Oh, I see. That's kind of cool. That's a cool prerequisite.
It is, and the XP version is 3 icons, but it's just as long as it's at all higher than as long
So
as
it
the
could just
test
be
is
one higher. Yeah.
like so. That one is good. It actually might even be equal. I'd have to go double check. Stunning Blow is fine.
Yeah.
Survivalence is fine. Take Heart's amazing, and that's a card that I can pitch to either one of us to just if you pass, great. If you fail,
If you
drop two
fail,
cards
you
again,
get you get something.
and I can return it to my hand if with his ability if I want to. Um, I'll
Yeah,
be
red is
running.
super interesting because like as I was reading cards for my Fab Five, there's all of these like, yeah, basically like gamble, like bet against yourself and then make yourself awesome. Like there's like a
Yeah,
lot of that weird stuff. It's just like yeah, like take hearts. It's like no, it's cool. Like I'll fail this one because I actually want these resources and these cards, and then I'm gonna make myself awesome by doing something else.
yeah, exactly. They're really cool in that regard, and I think I'm going to be running this suite right here. Um, in particular, these two cards together are
Okay,
very very good.
that's super. Yeah, Peter's interesting. You get a foot and then you can heal a horror from. So he's like constantly. You can give him a horror every turn.
Right, and so when you look at the next card, you'll understand why. Because I only start with 5 horror.
Okay. You get fight. You get one +2 instead if you have 3 or fewer remaining sanity. If this attack defeats an enemy, you may heal one horror. An additional cost to initiate this ability. You have to take a horror. Got it. Got it. Got it. That's
And
amazing.
so yeah,
Actually.
you can keep yourself kind of like riding that line. Um, it's either that or I just go kind of standard baseball bat. Baseball bat's just like a 2+2 fight 1 damage, so it's good. But if you draw the skull or the tentacle, it
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Yeah.
breaks. So these two are great together. And then track shoes makes me super mobile
Yeah.
and gives me more.
Yeah. That's cool.
Um,
If you
so
succeed
yeah,
with
that's
the
kind of
yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
um, so yeah, I will be going and doing something along that, and or on you. It's kind of there's a lot of stuff with him that I'm excited to do as far as like once I start getting the XP, because for the most part you're just gonna be seeing me run like a ton of skill cards.
Yeah.
So that's how he pumps. It's like I'm not taking a pump card. I'm
Yeah. You're just pitching, pitching, pitching. Yeah.
um, Red does have um, two really bananas doom mitigation cards. So XP wise, you have a Catastrophe. So it's a 2 cost 3 XP card that's fast. Play when you reveal a chaos token that would reduce your skill value to 0, including the tentacle. Cancel it and treat it as a star instead.
That is nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is so good. It is so incredibly good. Will to Survive is crazy because you just don't draw chaos tokens for the entire turn, and it's fast. So if you have the $4, you just take
Oh
whatever your base
my
stat is.
god. That's
Yeah, red is.
ridiculous.
If you notice, that's the highest XP cost too. Red cards don't go over 3 because they have this final mechanic called Exile. Okay, so I guess this doesn't explain Exile. Yeah, okay. So what happens is that if you exile a card, you actually remove it from your deck, and so if you want it back in again, you have to pay another XP. So they're
Oh no way. They're one and done. They're one and done cards.
one and done, but they're all like cheap. So like this is like the equivalent of Ward of Protection, but with no drawback of taking the horror. The drawback is exile. So
Interesting.
red does a lot of that kind of stuff. So that's what I'll be looking at is throwing together a deck with a ton of skill cards and then some interesting like upgrade paths for my XP.
Yeah.
Primarily these new innate cards are going to
Yeah.
be
So
like
cool,
this.
dude.
This card is also like another one that's like this card's so good with it because you commit it, and then after you commit it, if you if you succeeded, great. If you failed, you could be like, we really need to pass this. I'm going to exile this card, and we automatically succeed unless it was the tentacle. You just automatically succeed.
That's amazing. That's such an amazing, because like there have been those moments in our games where you're just like, that is it. Like now we're dead. Like I can't
Yep.
believe that. And I
Yep.
can't believe you can mitigate something like that. That's
Yeah,
phenomenal. I like it.
it's good. So there's gonna be a lot of that, and oh yeah, and the other Rise of the Occasion actually gets better and better the higher the difference is between you and the base stat. So like if I really need to get rid of like a mind test, like I have to do like a
Yeah.
terrible frozen in fear or something like, and I'm like taking a 6 mind test, then you just pitch the Rise of the Occasion. So there's gonna be some really cool stuff there. That'll be it should be neat.
Dude, I think I'm very excited to see a red character for sure, because all of it's so interesting. Like, and I just, in your mind you can like sort of like see what it's supposed to do, but like I'm just curious how it actually functions. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
Like in theory, these are great. I just don't know how effective it'll really feel. But I just think it's like red is definitely the color. Like I mean, I think we talked about this like in the beginning too. It's just like is the one that I had sort of a hard time wrapping my mind around, like building a character for. Because I was like, what are you trying to do? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's strange. I
It's-
think the other colors have very much easier like pathways forward. Um, I think
yeah.
Seeker might be the most straightforward of the ones I put
Seeker
together.
is, yeah, and it's like it's too bad because it's not that they're that straightforward. It's just that
A lot of the cards felt
there are
like
so
just
many
like,
good
okay, well this goes
cards.
in, right? Well, okay, well this goes in, right? Yeah, yeah,
Right. And it's like you could choose not to do that and you could
yeah,
do some other interesting things, but like there are so many yellow cards that are like that just makes me get clues better,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is my
That just like objectively makes me better. So
right, right. Oh, exactly. Um, exactly. Like I never even seen this card. There's this like weird necklace that you put like 3 yucky bugs under it, and then whenever
where are you looking? Where are you looking? Oh, yeah.
Nightmare Bobble, you reveal a tentacle and you can counter the tentacle token, but you shuffle like a yucky bug into your deck.
That's so funny. A dream parasite attached to the
I don't
bottom.
even. I guess I'm gonna look at the bonded cards. I don't remember getting that card. I mean, I'm sure I did. I'm sure I just
Nightmare.
didn't look at
Yeah.
it. Um, so
Dream
there
parasite.
it
There
is.
it is.
Dream Parasite.
While Dream Parasite is in your hand, you must commit it to the next skill test. The skills test subtract from your skill value.
Okay. Okay. So you're trading your bad luck now,
Yeah,
or like bad luck later.
yeah.
Um.
That's actually
Oh, but
interesting. I mean, that's completely doable in red from what I've seen.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. Well,
this
and
is
you can
yeah. I
also
mean, this is
just
like that card you had. I mean, it's worse. It's one worse
yeah.
than the Winnie card that you had with the downward spiral plane. Um, whatever that
It's
was.
actually very similar to his card. So he actually, I'll show you his weakness card. His weakness card's really weird, similar to Winnie's too. It's really
Yeah, these skills icons subtract from your skill value instead of adding to it. Yeah, if the skill test fails, return it to your hand, so you have to do it again. If it's in your hand at your end of turn, reveal it, take 2 damage. So if you don't commit it, you just take 2 damage. But if you
indefinitely
do,
right.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah, you can completely ignore it. And he has like 9 health, so he can soak it for a while. But it is
yeah. Yeah, you're
yeah,
9'5". I think I'm like the exact
you're
opposite
fine.
as you. I'm 6'9". Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, you do have the extra health with him too, Rex. Um, so yeah, so I'll throw some stuff together, and I can kind of show it briefly just so that we can wrap up on time. But like for the most part, what you guys are gonna be seeing is a lot of me just running these various skill cards and
Yeah.
making all that work, and then it should be it should be cool because I'm more excited about him with more XP. Whereas like Safina, I think is just gonna be like really exciting right out the gate because there's just all this weird crap in there, and it's kind of
Right.
like, well, for my opening hand, I hope it didn't suck. I can't mulligan.
Yeah. No, I really like the characters that you're choosing, because they feel like so dynamic. Like it's sort of like they can like fire off and be amazing, or it's like risk reward characters. I think. So I think it should be really really awesome. I'm really pumped, and like this is like our first red character on stream, our first blue character on stream, our first dedicated clue gatherer, our first dedicated fighter, and yeah, another like sort of wild dynamic green character. So um, I think both teams are going to be it's going to be fun to see because they're all going to play so differently. So it should be cool. I'm into it, man.
That should be really cool. I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to it as well.
All right, guys. So I think we're gonna wrap it up. I'm already here on this title screen. We are Matt and I will be taking a break next Monday. So I will either be streaming solo or I'm going to be doing daytime with Chris because Matt is on vacation. So we will be starting the Dream Eaters the week afterwards, I believe. Stay tuned on Twitter and Discord to make sure that I'm not lying on that. So yeah, so this is just I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know this is a little bit different because we didn't actually play the game. It's all just preparation for the stuff, but since we didn't do any deck building at the beginning of the last stream, and I actually kind of I know I personally get a lot of enjoyment out of just talking with somebody through deck building, and then just seeing the different ways that you can sort of formulate your deck and all this stuff, and especially when you're playing with another person and you want to like sort of use, be like, okay, well, you're going to handle that, so now I don't have to put that on my deck, that kind of stuff. It's super interesting to me. And so I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, and you're watching on YouTube, like, subscribe, hit us up with a comment, tell me if you liked it, so that if we ever do, more campaigns in the future, we know whether or not to include the deck building portion of that, as well. Because, if you guys are like, nah, just get into the gameplay, I mean, we can always do this stuff online. I just figured we'd just throw it out there, just because to me, it's part of the game. It's just as much part of the game as actually doing the scenarios. So, yeah, thanks, Matt, for all your help. I think this is cool. I'm very, very excited about playing these decks. I think it's gonna be great. Gosh, and then we can play Innsmouth when it comes out in the cover. No. So there it is.
Awesome.
All right, cool, dude. So we went. It's surprising. I guess we just talk a lot. But I was expecting this to go a little short, and it ended up being just about the usual time. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Matt, I hope this was an okay use of your time, and I hope you're pumped about the next campaign, dude.
Definitely. Looking forward to it very much.
Cool. All right, with that, I'm going to say peace, good gaming. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Me and Chris will be streaming, and then Thursday I'll be doing solo. And then you'll see Matt in 2 weeks. And I think that's it. Anything else you want to say, Matt?
No, I don't think so. I mean, if you guys are watching this either right now or you're watching it later and you want to give us some tips or pointers or your feelings on certain cards, I mean, feel free. That would be interesting to see, and maybe if we like it enough, we can change some things before we start. But it'd be cool to hear.
Yeah, that would definitely be cool. So yeah, if you have any comments on that, I mean, we're not going to be starting the campaign for another 2 weeks, so there's plenty of time to sort of tweak these decks a little bit with your comments too. And I think we didn't do this in the last campaign, but I think I'll like publish my deck on like ArkhamDB and then like give you guys a link in chat or something when we play so you can see what's in the deck or whatever. So that might be cool to do. All right, I think that's it. Peace, good gaming, everybody, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Good night.
Good night.